Hey, what's up, guys? We're now at the humble home of Mr. Rod Rodriguez.
The owner's not humble though.
Well, if anyone loves Davao radio or even Philippine radio, everyone knows this guy.
This is so cool, man. You're
Right.
like the Will. You're like the Will Dasovich of Davao.
I hope. Well, this guy over here, I'm a fan since like, I believe I was.
Oh man, don't even go there.
I believe that was around 2013.
Okay.
2013, yeah, not that long ago.
Yeah.
It was Killer B before.
Yeah.
My cousins were actually fans of Killer B. We always listened to like guys like you. This guy is like one of the barometers if you want to do radio.
I don't want to disappoint anybody, man. I don't want to let people down because the radio guy is different. The off radio guy is just a dork. But I think I come up as a dork on air. Anyway. It doesn't matter, right?
No, you're amazing. Well, today what we're doing is we're recording a podcast.
Yes, we
this
are.
is just gonna be a free-flowing podcast. Basically, we're gonna start off with the NBA first, then
Sure.
just free-flowing from there. Right?
Yes.
Let's do this.
Like that way, like landscape mode.
Yeah,
I
it
tried
should.
to do it like the other way. And is this on already?
It is
Okay.
on. All right.
So it's live and running.
It's live
So
and
we'll do
running.
a show.
Let's go.
Here's the intro. Let's fire away.
Welcome to the Rod Rodriguez Show. This podcast episode is powered by SoundCloud. And here's your host, the Mouth of the South, Rod Rodriguez.
Hey, what's up, guys? We got the Mouth of the South, Rod Rodriguez here. Officially, episode number, I have no idea. I'm not sure if it's 6 or 7, but it's one of the legit episodes because the episodes where I was doing it with my son and I was doing it on my own, I kind of don't consider them as official episodes. But this one definitely is because we have a certified guest. When I say certified, this guy, like, I don't even know where to start with the dude because this is actually the first time we've met.
First time we've met in years.
We shook hands for the first time like 5 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago, and he's in my house now. And I know people who I've known for like 30 years and they've never been in my house.
But I'm happy to be in your house, man.
Thank you, man. All for the love of podcast. So let's give a big round of applause to Mr. JD Talento.
Thank you.
Yeah, I want to say that with a slang too. It's like JD Talento.
Yeah, thank you for welcoming me. I don't really know how to introduce that, my last name.
Talento.
It's
JDT.
that's why I do the JDT.
Okay,
like-
I'm gonna try. Let's play a game real quick.
Sure.
Since I don't really stalk people on Facebook. You don't have to in the Philippines. People will just let every information out anyways,
yeah,
right?
Absolutely, yes.
My ATM pin number is, and they'll put that as their status, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, I'm gonna try to figure out what JD stands for.
JD
Don't
is-
tell me. I'm gonna try to figure it
All
out.
right, sure.
Okay.
Figure it out.
But it's your name.
Definitely.
Okay. It's like 2 first names.
2 first names. Yeah, you're right.
Is it Joshua David?
No.
Is
Far.
it not even one?
Not even
Is
one.
it Jericho Daniel?
Close to the first one?
Okay.
Close to the first one?
Close, but not
Yeah. It sounds like
Jerry?
a Jericho.
Oh, close. Okay. Josefino.
I wouldn't think that's it. I wouldn't think
Close
that's
to
it.
Jericho?
Close to Jericho.
Oh man. Starts with a J, ends with an O.
Not really.
Okay, but close to Jericho.
Close to Jericho.
Not Jeffrey.
Not Jeffrey. Far from Jeffrey.
Not Jerry.
Close to Jerry. Close
Gerald.
to Jericho. No.
Gerald with a J.
It's not really a common name, so it's
Oh,
not really
it's-
the Jerrys. It's not the Johns.
Okay, I have a rule. I'll try to guess like people's initials like maybe 4 times and then I quit. So what is it?
It's Jerick Dell. Spell it as
Oh, cool.
Jerick.
Oh, all right, cool.
Yeah, and my second name is Dell because my grandpa's name was Fidel.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
Right.
we always like that's the thing because like with Filipinos, there's always a connection to your grandfather,
Yeah.
your
You just
father,
have to do it with your grandfather. Why?
your mom's ex. You know, there's always that connection.
Always,
the
always.
milkman, you know,
Yeah, right,
was
right.
probably your real dad. But kidding aside, so Jerick Dell,
Jerick Dell.
and you go by JD.
JD.
And do you have like a Filipino nickname like Junjun or Jeep Jeep or J?
Well, my birthday is September 16th, so
Okay.
that was the SEA Games where in the 90s, my older cousins
Mm-hmm.
and my uncles actually call me Onyok because that was the time Onyok won the SEA
The
Games.
silver, right?
Yeah, the silver.
He was robbed of the gold.
Yeah, he was robbed of the gold. So I used to like punch, 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 punch.
Okay.
That's why they called me Onyok.
And you were like, how? Because you were born then? Hold on.
No, I was not born
You
then.
were-
Oh, yeah, that was 96.
So you were born then?
Yeah, I believe so. September 16, 96, that was the time that Onyok won
Oh, man.
silver for boxing.
Jeez. 1996.
1996.
I was like dating my nth girlfriend. I'm probably batchmates with your parents, man. I wouldn't be surprised if
Right.
but all right, so JD, we'll just go with JD, but
Right.
cool name, Jarek Dell. My name's Rod Rodriguez. We'll stick to just Rod because,
Well, is Rod the whole thing?
no, it's actually not, man. Like I have a
Well,
connection with my grandfather too.
how about I guess that?
I have that old school, second name, but yours is Dell, so you
Dell.
don't really have your grandfather's full
Right,
name.
right.
I have my okay. You'll never guess my name though. Like 9 times out of 10, people will say like my name's like Rodrigo, like the president,
Right.
or Roderick, or Roger, or whatever.
How long is it though? Like,
It's not that long. It's raw. It's like my first. I have two first names, like most Filipinos, right? So mine is like Rod Blank, and then there's a second name. All you have to guess is though, what's the connection to the Rod Blank? Like, fill up the rest of it.
I don't actually have a.
It starts
wild
with
guess.
Rod, but it's not Rodney. That's also like most people will also say, "Oh, is your full name Rodney?" No, but I tell you this, it's not just Rod. But people who know me, obviously.
I don't really want to guess it. I
Yeah.
want you to just.
Yo, you're better off
say-
not guessing it. We'll leave that for later.
Okay, let's move on.
Let's keep that the mystery of Rod Rodriguez. But at least it's sort of my real name. Like, when I was in high school,
that's
people
good.
called me Rod. So there, JD and Rod together for the show. And this episode, we pre-plugged it, not on video or not on on the podcast, but pre-plugged it on Facebook, on our Facebook pages, right?
Right.
And you described yourself as a
I actually am a videographer.
okay.
I would say I am because I do shoot videos.
Yes, you do.
I'm a YouTuber. I upload stuff on YouTube. Number 3, I'm a somehow entrepreneur. I'm a frustrated entrepreneur because I did have a couple of clothing lines before. I actually am continuing right now. So 2020 is going to be my uprising.
Okay.
I hope so.
Cool.
Well,
Glad to be a part of it.
Right. Well, I'm going to be releasing that in 2020. So I'm a frustrated entrepreneur. And I want to start up my own podcast as well. So this is like the starting of it.
Yes, you should.
I actually had exposure already with regards to podcast. I had like 3-4 episodes, hour episodes, and it was about sports. So that's what I want to like
When you say sports, like basketball, right?
basketball,
Right.
volleyball. Before it was
Tong
FIBA.
its,
So
piat
Tong
piat,
its, piat piat, yeah, all of those. Well,
Jolin.
I actually was trying to invite people who love the UFC, boxing.
That's right up my alley,
Yeah.
man. Those are my 3 favorite sports: boxing, mixed martial arts, and basketball.
Right.
And those 3 sports that I'm worst at: boxing, mixed martial arts, and basketball.
The irony.
I am, but I'm an armchair jock, so to
Right.
speak. Like I like to follow sports. I'm a big fan. Same with my dad, but we're both kind of like not gifted with athletic genes.
Right.
So I play it. I mean, like the cool thing about the Philippines is we don't really bully people who are unathletic.
Right.
Like a guy who came this close to being in the PBA can play with a guy who just like wears
Absolutely.
slippers. It doesn't matter. We don't discriminate.
Right.
We love the sport and we don't care. We give chances. And so, my friends were really good at basketball. They let me play, but I'm that guy that you like the last guy you'd pick for your
Right.
team.
Right. If there's like money at stake, you'd be the
Yeah,
last one they'll pick.
I don't even know if I'm unathletic or I just don't have, because some people I notice, some guys, they excel at sports, like team sports.
Right,
I excel. I'm more of a loner, really. So I probably excel more at like solo sports. Like, I did taekwondo. I did pretty well there. Boxing, I never really explored that. But I think I'm better off like doing an activity where it's just me that's involved. So I just have to deal with my own.
Right.
Whereas when you play basketball, man, it's not just about being good at dribbling. You got to be good at passing.
Right.
You got to be able to read the play ahead. You have to know how to post up. There's so many
things.
and there's so many factors involved. It's not just you. It's not just the opposing team. It's your teammates. It's your coach. And I just don't have that. I'm not gifted. I don't want to say I'm not a team player.
Right.
Because that I could work in a team like if it's work, you know.
Right,
But if
right,
it's
definitely.
sports, I'm like, who am I supposed to pass the ball to? Who am I supposed to be guarding? Like,
Right, the plays and how you really
but
play
you're
as a team.
but you're good at it. I mean, you're decent at it.
I'm decent at it. I have played lots of basketball leagues, lots of teammates all throughout. So I think I'm decent at it because I think they love playing with me.
Oh, that's cool, man.
For the reason of that, I cheer them up.
Okay.
I actually am a team person. Even if you're down, I would say that just go, man.
You have this energy,
Yeah,
this positive energy.
You don't have to worry.
Have you
about
ever
it.
been in a fight or scuffle like during a basketball game?
Last game, this is crazy. It actually was my teammate, not
Okay.
really me. And like, he slapped the ball out of the opponent's hands,
Okay.
and I accidentally hit his face.
Oh, okay.
The opponent was like
Pissed
40
off?
years old, right? So it's a hot head
Yes.
threw the ball at
Yeah.
my teammate's head.
Oh man.
That's crazy.
That's not right.
Yeah,
You know, I mean,
that
that's,
has no place in basketball.
yeah, we refer to that as like gulang.
Gulang,
You know,
gulang,
like when
yeah.
you play with the older guys and they pull your shorts and
Yeah,
stuff,
pull your shorts,
or
your
they
jersey.
elbow you. Or
Right.
I heard of like, it's not confirmed, but I've heard of Jaworski like spitting at his opponents.
That's true.
Or like the Rudy Distrito move, if you want to pull like the old school PBA card.
Right.
But that's that's the thing too. Like when you play basketball, there's always going to be that picon guy.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
So I kind of avoid that because I actually have in my old neighborhood, we had like a basketball court and there's always like these dayo people,
Mm-hmm.
right? And whenever there's a dayo, it's like you bet like a bottle of soft drinks or something, or this thing called kamangay. Like
Right,
you go under
kamangay,
there
yeah.
between someone's legs, right? If you lose. So that was like hardcore. So whenever there's a dayo, like everybody ups their game.
Right.
Right? Everybody
Yeah,
ups their
sure.
game. Like you don't want to lose to the dayo team. This is our home court. But the funny
Playing for 10 pesos.
yeah, exactly. But it's like life and death.
Yeah.
Basically. But the thing is, when we were playing, most of us would expect somebody might get hurt or get injured by the opposing team. But one of our neighbors, one of the guys playing on our home team, he's like 6'2", and he rebounded the ball and landed with his elbows on one of our teammates, and he lost like 4 of his front teeth, man.
Front teeth.
So when that happened, like he ended up like picking up from the ground,
The
like
pieces.
yeah, it's like when that happened, I was like, okay, basketball's not fun. I mean, it's not worth it. First off, I'm not paid millions to play this.
Right.
There are other forms of exercise that's not gonna get me
Yeah.
hurt or make me lose my teeth.
My teeth, yeah.
So that was it's like a traumatic thing. I've had my lip cut from an elbow, because I'm bakikaw.
Baki-
What's English for awkward? Like an
Yeah, yeah.
awkward basketball player.
Awkward basketball
Yeah,
player.
like you can't time their moves.
Right.
Like,
Just moves all over the place. Right.
it's actually tougher to play against a bakikaw player.
Right, definitely.
Right? Because I've heard I've seen interviews of like MMA fighters and boxers and those in combat sports, and they always say it's tougher to fight against somebody who doesn't know how to fight.
True.
Because their moves are unpredictable. They'll
Unpredictable,
bite
yeah.
you, they'll pull your hair.
Right. They'll like poke your eye.
Mangambras.
Well, that's the most hard. I mean, it's really hard to play with someone who doesn't know the game that
Yes.
much because you see it, you see the game, you see how it flows. So you know
what to
a certain
expect.
approach.
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
you know a certain approach on the game. But if you have someone who just runs around and like, what's this guy doing?
Like he's going left instead of right,
Right.
but he's not even doing a crossover.
Right.
You're like your ankle's broken because he's just unpredictable.
Right,
Which
definitely.
leads me to my favorite player now. Can you guess?
Luca.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, he's one of the main topics over
Okay,
here. On
so
the
we're
notes.
okay. That was just a warm up about
Right.
basketball. Now we're gonna really talk about basketball.
Absolutely.
But guys, for those who are not into basketball or NBA or any of that, don't tune out because we will talk about social media. We will
Absolutely.
talk about other stuff that 23-year-olds encounter that people like my age don't encounter. So it's there's more in store. But
Well,
we'll do basketball first.
This is just one of the good stuff. We're not really gonna be focusing on this.
Okay.
I just want to make sure that I point out that Luka Doncic is a beast.
Okay, in a non-beastly way.
Right.
Right?
He's like a baby face, but
Yes,
he
babyface
assassinates
assassin.
everyone.
Absolutely,
Right.
not like LeBron, who just like runs over everybody.
It's very different in the sense that LeBron came into the league, in a way that he was so hyped.
Yes, since
So-
high school, yeah.
Since high school. So it wasn't a surprise, really. It was a surprise in the sense that he's very young. He can do this.
Yes,
But with Luka, he was a sleeper.
yes, Yes.
It's
Because, I
just-
mean, I understand the NBA's perspective, like why a couple of NBA teams passed on him because they
Right.
were traumatized by, the Darko Milicic situation with Detroit. They picked him number 2, if I'm
Number
not
2,
mistaken,
yeah.
over Carmelo, over
Carmelo,
Dwayne Wade, over
Chris
Chris
Bosh.
Bosh. And obviously that didn't work out. Darko was like this big guy. There's no way it's not going to work out.
Right.
He's young. He's a sensation in Europe and so on. And then he entered the NBA and just couldn't adapt and adjust his
Right.
game. So that for those that don't know, okay, so Luka Doncic plays for the Dallas Mavericks.
Dallas Mavericks.
He's still 19 years old.
20 years old.
He's 20 already. He's second year,
Second year in the NBA.
and he's doing a lot of things. JD's gonna enlighten you guys on that. He's doing so many things, breaking
many
records.
things. Right.
And you can Google him for the non-NBA fans out there. He's the latest sensation, so to speak. But for
Right.
the both of us who follow basketball in the NBA, he's become a household name in less than 2 seasons.
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
Luka is just like you don't really know what he's gonna do, but it's so effective.
And his game is so complete.
It's so
I mean-
complete. He's not really flashy.
No.
He's not that athletic.
No.
Right, but he does all the stuff
He
good.
does all basically the fundamentals. He's got that
yeah.
mastered because he started playing basketball when he was like 8 months old in his
Right.
mom's tummy.
Right, but this is what
Very
we're
young,
missing.
very young.
This is what we're missing, though. Luka Doncic played professional basketball when he was 16 years old.
Yes, against grown men.
That's what everyone doesn't know. So he's somehow very hyped just because of the game, but somehow other people would think that, yeah, that's Luka Doncic. That's his game.
Yes. And he's been doing that. Like he was MVP
MVP, yeah.
in EuroLeague,
Europe,
right?
Yeah, EuroLeague.
I mean, it's crazy. For I don't know how old he was when he became MVP, but he definitely, he knows how to play under pressure. He knows how to play against adults.
Yep.
His dad played basketball, so he obviously has that connection. And regardless of the experience, I mean, here's one thing I noticed about basketball and those that excel in basketball. It's not just that they have the athletic gifts, like they're tall, they're strong, they're fast. They have a vertical leap of like 49 inches or whatever. They're warriors.
They're warriors.
You have to have a fighting spirit. That's Allen Iverson was one of my favorite
Right. One of the smallest.
NBA players, but that guy, he will drive against Shaq, and he doesn't matter
Doesn't
when
care.
he'll like what Dwayne Wade said, right? Fall down 10, get up 11, or
11.
something like that. So you got to have that because if you play basketball and you get hit and it's like it's not for you, then the game's not for you.
Game's not for you. You got to have that toughness, not just physically, but mentally as well.
Mentally,
Because
yes.
guys are going to try and elbow you at times unintentionally. I mean, intentionally.
Yeah.
Without it being within a play. So you got to have that physical and mental ability to.
You got to be a fighter. And, you have to kind of have that swag on the court.
Absolutely.
And here's the thing. When you think about it, like basketball, like soccer or / football, as it's globally referred to as, think about it. Like in basketball, there are 10 huge guys fighting over
Very
one
huge.
ball in like a court. Something's bound to happen.
It's
going to get physical. I mean,
is.
10 guys fighting over one ball bouncing on the court. I mean,
And these are not just normal guys. These are guys who
Yes.
spend hours in gyms.
and they're huge.
They're
Like
very huge.
I saw Asi Taulava at Mac's restaurant once. I was like, what the heck? I mean,
This guy's a mountain.
yeah, Asi's like what, 6'9"?
6'9", 6'10", yeah.
Yeah, I saw him, and this was when he lost a lot of weight, and I think he was there for Adidas or something. And
Right.
I walked up to him, and I remember getting like a little calendar for my wallet with Kobe Bryant. I think Kobe or Tracy McGrady was still endorsing Adidas at the time, and this little calendar they gave out. And I saw him at Mac's restaurant, and I just had mustered up the guts to approach him, and I said, "Hey,
Right.
dude, can I get an autograph?" And he autographed it, and I lost the freaking thing, But
Unfortunate.
I've only approached 2 celebrities in my lifetime
Mm-hmm.
to ask for an autograph for. And I've encountered a lot of celebrities. I mean, I did radio.
Right,
we interview
right.
celebrities. I interview senators. I interview, international celebs. I never really cared much about getting an autograph or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, it's bragging rights, but back then when I was doing this, it was still like Friendster. It's not like
Right.
Facebook or Instagram where you want to get your picture taken with a celeb so you can share it so everyone
Right.
will get jealous. Back then, it didn't matter. So it was
Yeah.
more like an autograph. I've only asked autograph from 2 celebrities, and they're both funny. Well, Asi's sort of half local, what I mean,
Right,
right?
right.
But
He
the
is.
other one is Vanessa Del Bianco, who's like this actress, celebrity host for like
Right, right.
MTV, this variety show with Randy John and Willie, or was it Randy John? Yeah, I think so. But it was like Vanessa Del Bianco because I had a huge crush on her.
Wow.
And I saw her and I approached her and asked for her autograph, but I lost both. So That sucks. Anyways, let's
Bummer.
go back to basketball. All right,
Okay.
so Luka Doncic, we're talking about him.
All right.
Are we going to talk about your favorite team? Is it Phoenix Suns? Is that represented?
It's representative. It's
Okay.
in my cap. Phoenix Suns is my team. I'm very happy that they're in the 8th
Can I
seed.
run upstairs real quick and get my team?
Go. Get yours.
Because it's a special cap. Go ahead. Keep the people interested. I got to go run up.
Hey, I just want to give some shout outs to the people who's watching. The Pink Popes, Rex from Dubai. What's up? To the 12 people that's watching this live video. Ronald, we're going to cover up sneakers right after. Keboy Bernardino, thank you so much for watching. My boy Jeffrey Lopicilio. What's up, guys? For the guys that's watching, Giorgio Salazar, thank you so much. Kev, my man, my brother, thank you so much for watching this. Well, basically, this is an episode with world famous Rod Rodriguez.
Yeah, third world famous.
This one's gonna be uploaded though on Spotify. It's gonna be under
Yes, it will be.
under Rod's Spotify channel.
So the quality will be better there, right?
Yeah, the quality
'Cause
will be
obviously
better
they're
there.
hearing us through your
If you
phone
wanna
mic.
see the full episode, I believe you're not gonna really last this long here. You can watch it through the video. We're actually recording this through my DSLR, and this is gonna be uploaded on YouTube in my channel. All right.
So
That's your team,
I'm old school.
Washington Bullets.
Yeah, Wizards, of course,
Yeah, the
now,
Wizards.
right? But
I saw you post some Wizards post.
I'm a
even
Wizards
before.
fan. I'm a Wizards fan. And there's kind of a connection there too. I don't know if there's a connection with Phoenix, like if you have relatives who live in Phoenix or whatever. Or
Not really. It was about Steve Nash and Amari Stoudemire.
Oh, with of course Sean Marion.
Yeah,
those guys, right?
The time that I saw them, the first time that I saw them, I was with my family. We ate at Bulkachong. One of the famous.
Okay, hold on. I thought at first I thought you said like you saw them at Bulkachong.
I saw them
Amari Stoudemire, Steve Nash, Sean Marion at
eating
Bulkachong.
Bulkachong.
Gahi man bay. What man hinalatan og maayo. I mean, I don't think it's gonna happen, but you can just imagine.
I'm sorry.
The
I think
the way
I
you
have to
said it's like the
rephrase
first
it.
time.
The first time I saw them, I saw them play on TV.
Okay,
on national
got it.
TV,
At Bulkachong.
So at Bulkachong.
All
I was
right.
eating with my family, and it was a playoff game between the Spurs and the Suns.
Okay.
They were always on the play.
Yes,
in the
absolutely.
playoffs.
Man, that was
Yeah.
crazy. Steve Nash back-to-back MVP. Was it
Right.
back-to-back MVP? I know
Back-to-back
he-
MVP, MVP 05 and 06.
Yeah. That's
Right.
crazy. And Shaq joined him like a year after or something.
Shaq always
Likes to join winning.
told everyone that it was a sympathy MVP just because Steve Nash was like carrying his team, a team of like not really
Like
full
he wasn't
pieces. Right.
deserving of it
Yeah.
really.
Because Shaq was averaging crazy numbers,
Yes,
and
I
he didn't
agree.
get it. Kobe
Yes.
even, Kobe even,
I agree.
He didn't get it. So they think that they got robbed by Steve Nash for getting back to back. They think that 05 was okay, but 06, what's that? Why are we giving this
Yeah.
guy
Yeah.
the MVP again?
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, his name was dropped on Nelly Furtado's track, if I'm not mistaken, right?
I think so. I think so.
There's a Nelly Furtado. Well, they're both kind of Canadians, right?
Yeah, I'm not really a fan of Nelly Furtado.
Yeah, I know there's a song that she dropped Steve Nash's name, but like I said, they're both Canadian, so there's that thing there.
Right.
Basketball was born in Canada.
He was Captain Canada.
Yeah, he
Steve
was,
Nash's.
and he plays football too, like
Yeah.
soccer, right?
Right, football.
He's good at football.
So that was the first time that I saw it. The most iconic thing that I saw in that game was like a pick and roll for with Steve Nash and Amari Stoudemire. Then he was fouled by Duncan. Then he did a push up, just like what Kelly Oubre does.
Yes, yes.
He did some push ups, and I was like, wow, this team is good. Then from that point on, I just started following the Phoenix Suns. Till their downfall for winning only 19 games last season and like being very devastated with everything. Like all the good teams were good way back in 2013, I believe.
Uh-huh.
Kobe was still there. 2012.
Yeah.
They were coached by, I believe, Jeff Hornacek.
Yes, it was Hornets.
They won 47 games and didn't get into the playoffs.
Yes.
That was a bummer for
Yes,
me.
because all the teams were good. Like
All
the
the teams
West
were
was
good.
like it was
Stacked.
so like tilted towards the West. But I gotta give it up to you, man. I mean, that's a legit fan right there. If you're rooting for one of the worst teams record-wise in the NBA right now, you're representing. Same here, man. Bullets. People are probably like, "What the heck? The Bullets are not around anymore." Yeah, they're the Wizards. All right,
Wizards,
they
yeah.
changed the name because they did not want to promote gun violence in Washington D.C., so they changed it to Wizards. They could have thought of another better
Right.
name, but hey, you know what? At the end of the day, Jordan played for them too. So
Absolutely.
but So we're hardcore fans. I mean, obviously, I'm not rooting for them this year in a sense where there's hope, because there's no
Right,
hope
no
that the
hope.
Wizards will make it. John Wall is out. Bradley Beal's the one carrying the team.
Do
But
you really think that John Wall could carry that team?
no.
Absolutely not, bud.
No, I was more of a Gilbert Arenas guy myself. Like
Agent
when
Zero.
Agent Zero, he was the killer, and they were on the playoffs. They were against the Bulls, and
Very ironic.
he scored 60 on Kobe, man.
Right, scored 60 on Kobe, but the turning point of his career was really the one that he bought a gun.
Yes,
he
yes,
brought a gun
that's
in
right,
practice.
that's right.
It's very ironic that they're not the Bullets by that
Yes,
time.
I think it was Javaris Crittenton or some that other
Right.
player. They it was off a card game.
Right.
The kapikunan, they got pissed off at each other, and like he started like, okay, I'll bring a gun, whatever. So,
I'm kill
and
you.
he got kicked out of that. Obviously not a good thing to do,
Right,
but
definitely.
still, I mean, that guy's got game. And when John Wall came in, he's got the speed, but he has to have a consistent jump shot. He has to be able to do things offensively besides just slashing and trying
Well,
to.
that's why Beal is there, I believe.
Yeah,
but-
Beal is great. I'm actually more for Beal now. I'm more. I'd rather have Beal on the team than Wall, and then maybe add.
How about the Ariza Oubre trade with Phoenix?
A lot of people were. Oubre has a lot of upside. Like a lot of people were saying, don't let that guy go because he's very talented, very athletic.
Right.
He's got so much potential, and he's very young. But the problem with Washington is whether it was the Wizards or whether they don't play their guys enough. Like they'll get a rookie or they trade for a younger player, and then they don't give them the exposure.
Right.
And for me, it's like now they have like Troy Brown, right? Now they learn from that, and they're starting Hachimura. Like Rui Hachimura is starting now because he's a rookie, but they're starting now because they have nothing to lose. But back then, like if they were going for the playoffs, they wouldn't start their rookie players. And for me, you really have to throw them in the lion's den.
Right.
If you have a rookie and you think he's good, you gotta let
Yeah.
him play games. Because I mean,
Give them the
Look
experience.
at Trae Young.
Wow,
Right? I
that
mean,
guy.
with Atlanta, if Trae Young was like kept on the bench and they let like someone else get the spotlight and
Right.
Trae Young wasn't playing as much, it's gonna take him longer to develop the swag, the
Right.
confidence to shoot from half court,
From the logo.
from the logo. So now, even though they have a losing record and one of the worst teams in the NBA, they have one of the best offensive players in the NBA, and he's starting to be complete because he passes the ball too.
Absolutely.
And I think I'd rather sacrifice a losing season to develop
To develop young players.
build up the confidence of a young player, and next season, add other players to the mix.
Well, it was not long till he started for the Hawks. It wasn't that long, really. I believe 20
Yeah.
games.
before
he started?
Yeah,
Right.
before he started, and he was kind of questionable at first,
Right,
right? Because he was
right.
taking a lot of bad shots and all
Right.
that.
He was labeled as a wannabe Curry, but right
Yeah.
now he's
Oh, he's crazy,
yeah,
man.
he's
The guy
showing
could score
that-
100.
Yeah, definitely.
The guy could score 100.
And his shot is like a catapult. Like
Yeah.
he just like
Crazy.
releases it with so much ease.
It's crazy, and
Right.
he's got that confidence. Like he can be clutch if he wants to, and you kind of like he's like Curry. Like when you watch him, it's like okay, it's not gonna go in, and he goes in.
Yeah.
Okay, we
Just
we
throws
all
it
know
up.
he's gonna take that shot, but there's no one who can stop it.
Right.
So kind of like Curry in a way. He's like the next gen Curry. But yeah, so Luka Doncic, Curry. We're talking about our love for our teams.
Right.
You love the Phoenix
Phoenix
Suns.
Suns.
You're sticking with them through thick and thin.
Through thick and thin. Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton.
So you're
Very
old
happy.
school. I mean, since Amari Stoudemire,
Amari.
Nash days,
Yeah.
you've been a
Raja
fan.
Bell.
Is that the team you always play on 2K?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, all right. Because I play as the Wizards on 2K, but like the thing with me is I'm a realist.
Uh-huh.
So
you play with someone who can win, really. Or with a team that can win.
Not necessarily. Of course, my favorite team will always be the Wizards. They'll always be my sympathy team, regardless
Mm-hmm.
of what. But I'm like, okay, I have to be realistic. I have to cheer for somebody who has a chance.
Yeah.
So I always have these teams. Like for the East, I sympathize with the Sixers because
Mm-hmm.
obviously they're getting a lot of flack and they're underperforming to
Right.
their potential. But I was just thinking for a change,
Mm-hmm.
and I never rooted for the top dog.
The Bucks.
I never, like in my lifetime, like when Mike Tyson was knocking everybody out, I was rooting for Evander Holyfield.
Right.
When the Lakers were the king of the game, I was like rooting for the Sixers. I was an Iverson fan.
Iverson fan.
When everybody was rooting for LeBron and Cleveland, I was rooting for Washington, for
Right,
the East.
right,
And I was
right.
rooting for, but I never rooted for the good teams because here's my,
Always for the underdogs.
here's my philosophy though. When you think about it, because the term bandwagon, like bandwagoners, people would join in to cheer for a strong team, like the Golden State.
Right, right.
Where are you guys now?
Where the fans at?
Where the
Come
Warriors
on.
fans at, huh? All right, but no, we're just kidding. All right, we're
Yeah.
steering the pot. But here's my thing: it's pointless to cheer for a strong team, or somebody who's like a sure win,
Right.
because they don't really need that.
There's no excitement in
There's
it.
no excitement. You cheer for the ones that need to be cheered for.
Right.
Right?
Right,
Like
definitely.
you don't cheer for a team that's already leading by 100.
Right.
You go win. We all know they're gonna win. You cheer for the guys who are down 100.
Right. Just like the Sea Games game with Myanmar. Remember
Yes.
that?
Yes.
And the Philippines
Started rooting for them.
Started rooting
yeah,
for
because
them.
I've never. Was it Myanmar?
Myanmar, I believe.
Were they
so.
the team, the country that didn't have one yet, or was it Timor Leste or Leste or
Timor-Leste.
whatever the name was?
But-
Sorry about Leste. I didn't mean that.
In the stadium, like they were like not really rooting online. They were cheering defense
Yeah.
for the opposing team
Yes,
because
yes, and that's how it should be for
Right.
me. I mean, that's why like I not that I don't have any respect. I don't have that much love for those that like say like if the Warriors are winning, like they're starting to be a dynasty, or if the Lakers now are like the best team in the West or in the NBA with the best record, they're all saying we love the Lakers. Like, I don't have much love for you people, mainly because for me it's like you're taking the easy way out, unless you have a legit reason to that you're rooting for that team, regardless of their winning record.
Right.
Like for example, you lived in LA, or you have loved ones in Los Angeles, or because
Surreal and LA guy.
yeah, like there's really a connection. Like people ask me, why do you root for the Washington Wizards? I spent my high school years in Virginia. Virginia is a suburb of Washington, D.C. Virginia doesn't have an NBA team. Virginia is like a suburb state.
Right.
And Washington, D.C. is like 15 minutes away. You cross the Potomac River, you're already in Washington, D.C. So the closest NBA team we could root for
Is the Washington
is the
Wizards.
Washington Wizards. That's why I also rooted for the Washington Redskins and the Baltimore Orioles, because we didn't have the Washington Nationals yet. I'm also a fan of the Washington Capitals, who plays hockey. But obviously for basketball, it's always the Wizards. And that's my reason. And I'm like, you don't live there anymore. But still, there's that sentimental connection where for a while, that was like your home team. It's like you're rooting for Ateneo because you study there.
Yeah, right. Definitely.
I mean, you don't root for like UP when you're like
When you're
a
like
blue
a-
blood,
yeah, a blue blood, yeah.
right? I mean, it's just the way I see it. But obviously, for us Filipinos, there is no like Davao team in NBA, so we have the right to pick any team
Any
we
team,
want.
yeah.
And
And they cannot blame us for like following the teams that are actually like having the hype.
yes,
I believe.
yes,
Because they're really favorable teams. Well, it contradicts what you said though, but I believe that if these guys are like you wanna like emulate their game,
yes.
it's okay to be their fans.
Yes. I mean, like I said, I just don't have love for them because they don't need love from me because their team's winning.
Right. That's
Like what good does it do if like Rod Rodriguez supports the Lakers fans? I mean, you don't need my love. You guys are freaking lording it over the NBA. You have Anthony Davis, LeBron James. You have the best record in the whole NBA. You guys. But you know what? They lost to the Dallas Mavericks. And it would have been 2 losses had that shot by Green not go in and had Howard not pull the jersey
the jersey of Seth Curry.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's their kryptonite, Dallas Mavericks.
Dallas Mavericks.
If they
Luka.
meet each other during the playoffs, they're going to be sweating bullets.
One important thing in the NBA right now is your pick and roll smarts.
Man.
And pick and roll is being played very well by 2
Okay.
guys in the NBA.
Okay.
Trae Young,
Uh-huh.
Luka Doncic.
Now, see, that's where the analytical mind of JD comes in. Because, like, for me, pick and roll sounds like a move that you make when you're at a buffet station. You
Sounds
know?
like a pick and grill, right?
You pick and roll to the rice.
Right.
You pick and roll to the lechon. But yeah, I'm sure you know how it all breaks down.
Right.
The triangle offense, the zone,
The
all that.
drive and kick,
Yeah,
the hammer
I'm-
plays.
Do you like when you play 2K? Do you actually coach? You set the plays?
I do set the plays, but it's always pick and roll because that's the most unguardable
Okay.
play.
Because like the guy screens and then he
Yeah,
rolls to
he
the
rolls,
basket.
yeah.
And you have the
They can
option
never
to
catch
either
that.
shoot
Shoot
it
or
or
pass.
Ah, okay. Luka does that all the time with Powell.
All the time,
right?
All the time, and he just throws it up. And
Yeah.
these guys are so athletic; they'd be able
Well,
to like.
you look for
jam
the
it in.
mismatch.
Yeah,
Basically, right?
right.
So
And
it's
Luka is, I believe, a 6'6" guy, 6'4" guy,
it's like they're saying 6'8".
6'8". Yeah, he's a 6'8" guy, and if he's playing a point guard, puts like, for example, a Ricky Rubio in his hip,
Oh man, forget it.
forget it, man.
Forget it.
It's either he's gonna get a floater if the big man doesn't come into him, or he throws up an alley oop.
Yeah.
Those are just
And
the two
it's
things.
still bye bye baby, right? I mean,
Bye
good
bye
night.
baby, and
that's
it's
the end.
very basic and it's very effective. He just like knows the game.
Okay, so just do pick and roll.
Do pick and roll.
All right, I'll try to practice that.
Yeah, if you play NBA 2K, just
and
do
roll.
pick and roll.
Pick and roll.
Absolutely.
All right, especially if like I'm like with Trey Young or I'm like playing,
Because if they leave Trae Young and they go with the big man, you just shoot
Was
with
that
Trae
the secret to the success of Sotomayor and Nash? Was it pick and roll?
Young. Yes, that was the pick and roll.
Okay, what's the difference between the pick and roll and the give and go?
The give and go is like if you give the big man
The ball?
The ball.
And he gives it back to you.
gives it back to
Okay,
you.
so it's like the play for the little man.
For the little man, yeah.
Okay, and the pick and roll is the play for the big man.
For both.
For both, yeah, because he
Yeah.
can shoot or he can.
Yeah.
Got it. But the
Right.
give and go, can it be for both too? If the big man is like Duncan, he
Yeah.
can.
If
You know.
if actually if you're not gonna be continuing with the give and go, if you fake the pass, you could just score it. If you fake off
Oh.
your defender.
Okay. So who's really good at the give and go?
For
Someone-
the give and go, I believe that's Joel Embiid.
Okay, because he has shooting.
He has shooting.
Yeah, he has shooting.
And he has.
What about
these
the
post
Joker?
moves.
The Joker, right?
Yeah, you just cited one of those as well. These guys are good at it because they have tremendous post presence.
Mm-hmm.
They're big. They're smart. They can shoot. They can like do everything in the post. So
Yeah.
they can fake off passes. They can like a pass screen. Do everything with
Yeah.
regards to the post.
Multidimensional.
Yeah,
Yeah, kind of
multidimensional
like
players.
Marc Gasol too when he was,
Marc
you know,
Gasol. Marc Gasol,
earlier.
Pau Gasol.
Really, yeah.
in the
these guys
early
are
years.
Smart
Tim Duncan.
guys. Smart guys.
Right.
So we're talking like basketball plays, which I know the names. I kind of have an idea of how it works out, but I don't have a coach's
Right.
mind. I'm more of like, I just automate
Right.
like my offense when I play 2K, but I kind of have no idea what's going on. Sometimes you see like, there are options to like watch how it's going to run out. Like you can do practice plays and stuff.
Right.
That's why team sports, it's really not for me. It's not for me to get involved in, but it's for me to analyze and play
Right.
in a video game setting and, talk about. And I'm a fan. I'm a nerd. I'm a sports nerd. I follow sports,
Right.
but I'm more focused on basketball. That's NBA, UFC,
Right.
and what's the other one I just mentioned?
Boxing?
Boxing, yes. But not so much NFL or hockey or even like FIFA football because it's not that popular here.
Right.
It's stuff that, like, you can't really watch NFL games. They don't broadcast it
They don't
unless
broadcast
you go on YouTube, watch the later airing. But it's all about NBA. It's all about basketball.
You could just listen to Colin Cowherd like
yeah.
talk
It's his
about
comments.
the NFL. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like vicious with his comments, but
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
well, to wrap up our NBA stuff, so that we could talk about
Sure. Social media and-
social media and stuff more. I just want to really note the Lakers. Everyone wants to hear about the Lakers.
Okay.
The Lakers won 3 straight after their streak, the 15-game streak, I
broken.
believe. Yeah, that was broken by
Luka and the
the Luka
Mavericks.
team. Yeah. And the thing over here is that the Lakers are not just doing it just because they have firepower with LeBron and AD. They're actually playing defense. They're second in steals with 8.8 steals per game.
Okay.
I'm not really gonna go in
Yeah,
deep
the
with
details,
that.
yeah.
The details, yeah.
But they have guys who can do it. They have Green. They
Yeah.
have Rondo.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's not just about ramming people, right? Like what
Yeah.
LeBron was
They
used
have
to doing.
defense.
They have defense.
Yeah, you need defense.
They have defense and have basically tremendous
So,
offense.
okay,
These
if
guys.
if I like mention a team to you, can you like educationally like answer me and say that's a well-coached team or it's because of the players?
Sure,
Because
sure.
like how some teams kind of, if you look at the roster, it's like freaking a laughing stock.
Right.
But they're kicking A.
Right.
Mainly Miami Heat. That's a well-coached team.
Very well.
I mean,
coached.
regardless
Eric
of what
Spoelstra.
you say about, Kendrick Nunn and those guys who are doing well, it's a well-coached team.
Well-coached
Because if
team,
you look at the roster, they don't even have, like, maybe, I'm not even sure if
Jimmy Butler's
it's
a
going to be an
star
all-star,
still. Right,
you
yeah.
know, but you look at them and they're
Tyler Hero.
good. I mean, they know what they're
Kendrick
doing and
Nunn.
they're fast. So they're one of those teams. So that's a well-coached team.
Yeah,
Okay, the Lakers, well-coached or because of the players or 50-50?
Well, I believe that they're well coached
Okay, so they're well-coached too.
for the reason that the coach can actually have them committed to defense.
Okay.
That's a gauge of a well-coached team because some teams, like super teams, not really the Golden State Warriors because the Warriors really play defense because of their coach. But check out last season of the Lakers with, I believe, Luke Walton.
Yes.
They never played defense, but
Yes.
I'm not going to say never, but they rely on their offense too much that they don't really play that hard defense.
Okay.
Compared to what they're doing now that everyone is committed to do defense and bring back Showtime Lakers.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, because the offense will just work itself out.
Right.
I mean, the guys they're with, they know what they're supposed to
Right.
do. KCP, Green, those guys are vets. I mean,
Yeah.
they know how to get their points. Kuzma's aged well, he's matured well. So it's obviously, I agree with you on that point. So you're basically saying that they're well coached, but they also have obviously a strong lineup led by
Definitely.
those two. What
That's
about
undeniable.
the Houston Rockets? Because the Houston Rockets, the way I see the Houston Rockets, that's a team that can be beaten by the worst team, but they can also beat the best team.
Absolutely.
Right?
That's
they
correct.
have you don't know what's gonna happen
You
with the
don't know
Houston
if
Rockets.
they're gonna lose, if they're gonna win.
Yeah.
What's happening?
They could
here?
lose to the Knicks, but they could also beat the Lakers.
Absolutely.
You
When they
know?
put their mind into it. Definitely.
Yeah, so what's your take on them?
Well, the Houston Rockets, I believe, is so centered with to
James Harden's
Harden.
offense? Yeah.
James Harden's offense. When James Harden takes over, it can be a good thing and it can be a bad thing. Sometimes
Okay.
they win, sometimes they lose.
Okay.
Remember the game with, I believe, San Antonio?
Yes.
He scored around 50, I believe.
Yeah.
50?
He just scored 60
Right.
last week or
Right.
so.
They lost by 2 points
Yes.
on that game. So it's very inefficient to center your offense with just one guy.
Yes.
And you look at the people that surrounds him. The only person that he can actually be partnered with is Clint Capella.
Okay.
They try to partner him up with a Russell Westbrook. It's good
Yeah.
in the sense that they can run.
Yeah.
But if it's a set offense,
Yeah.
Russell Westbrook is not a pure shooter.
Yeah.
He's shooting like in the past few games, 26%
Yes.
in 3 points.
And he's not a pure point guard either.
Not a
you
pure
know?
point guard.
Yeah.
It's like a combo guard. He can ram you up, but I'm not really sure if it's a team player.
Yeah, Russell Westbrook is the kind of player, like, if he gets the ball, like, just get out of the way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like just get out of the way. He'll decide what he wants to do with
Right.
it. And I don't know if that's because the coach has given them free hand or just how they play and that's how they excel. But like, because I'm thinking like, okay, people are saying James Harden holds the ball too long.
Too long.
Like the possession is all his. I'm trying to compare him with Jordan back in the 90s, when the Bulls was led by Jordan. But when you watch Chicago Bulls games, yes, Jordan does touch the ball a lot, and for the most part, he's probably holding the ball. But it doesn't stay with him that long.
Yeah.
It doesn't. It really doesn't.
It moves still.
Yeah, like if he gets the ball, like he'll dribble and either do his fadeaway or he'll drive, or Pippen's there.
Right.
He's not afraid to let it, give it to Chad Buechler or
Right.
whoever is like a sucky player. And
The good thing with that Chicago team is that it was a compliment for each player.
yes.
Steve Kerr is not a ball-centered point guard.
No,
He's
not
a
at all.
pass-first point guard that if he's free, he's going to knock it
That's
down.
right. That's right.
Ron Harper was a big point guard
Yes.
that can defend.
Yes, that's right.
And they got defenders from 1 to 5.
That's true. That's true.
Right.
That's a good point. That's a good
Right.
point. Yeah, and Jordan was, Jordan played defense. He led the
played
country.
defense.
He led the NBA in steals for a couple. He was like
Absolutely.
defensive player of the year, if
Right,
I'm not
he was,
mistaken.
he
Right?
was, he was.
So I mean, there you go. I mean, it just shows you that he plays on both ends of the court with the same intensity.
Absolutely.
And I think that's the difference because with James Harden, it's like.
Right.
Yeah, he'll win it for you and he'll score 70, but he can also lose it for you and still score 70.
Right.
So how do you figure that one out?
The problem really is the composition of the lineup. They'll put Harden at 2, Westbrook at 1, or the point guard. Then they got Eric Gordon at the 3, PJ Tucker at the 4, and Clint Capella at the 5. So it's like these guys are waiting outside for a pass from
Yeah.
James Harden.
Yeah,
If James Harden doesn't get a foul and just puts up a shot, they just go back in defense, and these guys are going to get obliterated. That's a
Yeah.
small ball lineup that can get, like, they can't defend the pick and roll.
yeah.
Even with the Phoenix Suns, they almost lost. They only won by 6 with
Yes.
the Phoenix Suns.
Yes.
The Phoenix Suns got Dario Saric that can ram you up
Yeah.
and can shoot threes as well. So
So what do they need?
I believe they need to have 3-and-D guys. That's
Okay.
what they lost before, 3-and-D guys, when they let go of Trevor Ariza the first place.
Okay. Guys who can
That-
shoot
that's
the
a tr-
three and
yeah,
defend.
And defend.
Right.
3-and-D guys are
Okay.
are very important. Look at the Lakers. They got Danny Green, a 3-and-D guy.
Yes.
KCP, a 3-and-D guy.
Yes.
Kuzma plays defense.
That's right.
So there's not. The composition of the team is one of the most important things, aside from coaching.
Yeah.
These guys can be coached in the sense that you go here, you go here, you go here.
Yeah.
But when you try and execute,
Yeah.
like
And success and excellence, it's contagious.
It is.
If you played with Michael Jordan and let's say you played with let's say you played with an average NBA player back in the day, right? Like maybe Dan Marley or someone like, sorry, to pick on the Suns, but this is before
Dan
Amari,
Marley, yeah.
right? So let's say you play with Dan Marley. He was like the star player of your team.
Yes.
It's not going to take much for you to be on the level or at least satisfy the expectations of a teammate of Dan Marley. But if you were in the Bulls and you played with Michael Jordan, you're going to be at your top game.
Absolutely.
Right? You're going to exert your best freaking effort. So it's contagious. And I think that's what happens with the Lakers and Cleveland and Heat, with all the teams that LeBron's played with. Because you're with LeBron, you have the guy who's like leading you to battle. So they're all like, okay, I got to be at least not too far behind and play as good. So success is contagious. But it can also be a letdown.
Absolutely.
Like with James Harden was leading in scoring.
Right.
But you don't feel like it's much of a team situation,
Definitely.
So, all right. Anyways, enough with the NBA.
Right.
We'll do other episodes. But yeah, you do with your stats.
Yeah.
Your prediction. Okay, your prediction for
Okay.
East and West.
Dark horses. Number 1, we got Phoenix Suns. Definitely. The
Okay.
Phoenix Suns are doing good in the sense that
You think they'll make it to the 8th spot? There's a chance. Is there still a chance for them? Statistically, there's still a chance.
They're on the 8th spot.
Okay.
Their record is 11-13.
Oh, there you go.
11 wins and 13 losses. They're actually tied with the Kings for the
Okay.
7th and 8th spot.
All right.
The Kings are doing it as well just because they play defense too.
Okay.
So defense is very, very important.
Is Bagley back? Is he playing again?
I didn't really watch their games, but
Yeah.
I just watched the stats, and
All right.
they're really doing good in defense. The thing with the Phoenix Suns, they can be a dark horse, but they're only doing it through offense. They have firepower from 1 to 5.
Yeah.
Just because everyone can shoot,
Yes.
but not everyone can defend.
Okay.
So Devin Booker has to do more on defense.
Yes.
Ricky Rubio has to do more in defense. Everyone.
That's-
Kelly Oubre is like the anchor there.
That's the tough thing, though. That's a
Right.
tough thing with expecting that from your players. Like, you're
Right.
expecting them to excel both on offense and defense. Very few can do that. Jimmy Butler has the energy, the stamina. Defense is tiring.
It is.
Playing defense is tiring. If you have a player who's dedicated to just defending, fine. Like Bruce Bowen for the Spurs. That's all he has to do. He doesn't even have to
Play
score
defense,
points. He will steal the ball. But if you're expected to defend with the
score.
same intensity as scoring, it's going to drain you.
It
I mean,
is,
that's
it is.
probably why Harden doesn't really not
Right,
known to
play
defend too much.
defense,
He saves it all. But then again, yeah, it's tough to find a player who's both ways. You know. who can-
Well, basically that's it. These guys are.
who's your prediction for finals? Basically your finals prediction.
Well, basically these are the top guys from the East and West. The Bucks and the Lakers.
Yeah, it feels like that's where it's headed.
It
It's
is.
kind of like, with Golden State
Yeah.
and was it Cleveland?
Cleveland. Yeah.
we were.
You
Everybody
really
kind of.
you already see it.
Yeah, you already see it. Unless something happens like an injury or
Right.
whatever that totally screws everything up, like with Golden State
Right.
last season, right? Like with the injury, it just like
Klay Thompson.
destroyed their legacy and sort of like ended Golden State as a dynasty.
That's where you can ask if is this organization coached well?
So
Or is
so
it
for
because of
you,
the
that's
players?
your safe prediction.
Right. That's my safe prediction
Lakers versus the Bucks. Okay, for the finals.
for the finals.
All right. Now my
Right.
prediction for the finals, I thought the process was already done, and I thought the Sixers would have it. The Raptors are still actually pretty strong, but I'm actually going for the Clippers, just because I think
They're a more complete team.
if the Clippers and the Lakers face each other in the finals or somewhere there, I think the Clippers just have more grit. Like they just have more grit to push through and make it a 7-game battle war. It seems like they're designed for that.
Yeah.
But like I said, if you're gonna put your money on like someone like Floyd Mayweather, which is a sure win, it's
win.
the Lakers.
Yeah.
But for the West, I'd go with the Clippers, and for the East, I really couldn't care less about the East. I would want the Sixers to be
Yeah.
there, but
I expected that you'd say that.
I would want the Sixers. That's my sympathy thing. So I'll predict them just for a change. But the safe bet is obviously Lakers.
Lakers.
Yeah. All right.
Lakers and the Bucks. Okay.
that's our prediction.
How about we bet on it?
You like money?
Yeah, I know, no, just maybe food.
Like dinner?
This is gonna be good for the viewers.
Yeah,
as
let's
well.
bet on it.
Okay, how about
Okay, so what's our bet? Like, our guys are gonna turn out, like our teams, or what if none of them make it to the finals?
well?
Then it's quits.
It's quits.
But at least the closest.
Right.
Like maybe if you have one team in and none of mine, then
Right.
you win.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay. All right.
definitely.
That's it. Well, we'll bet. So we'll
Okay.
put it on record.
Yeah.
I'm predicting.
What are we betting for?
Pizza.
Pizza.
Okay.
One whole pizza.
Yeah, one large, For me, 4 cheese
4 cheese.
at Yellow Cab.
Yellow Cab. Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
What's yours?
actually, I love 4 cheese as well, so
Okay.
that's mine as well.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with 4 cheese at Yellow Cab.
4 cheese Whopper, 4 cheese pizza, anything 4 cheese is
Yeah,
good.
anything 4 cheese is good.
Yeah.
So we
Alright.
love our dairy.
So that is recorded here.
Yeah.
A 4 cheese pizza. if either of our teams get in.
Yeah, people you want to give shout outs to? Let me
Yeah.
give some shout outs to people because these are people on live. I know this is going to be on podcast. It's going to sound kind of silly if people hear this on podcast because will be uploaded later.
Right.
But shout out to Kev Garrett, your friend.
That's my friend.
Did I say that right?
Absolutely.
To Marshall Balaga, is he your
Yeah,
friend?
yeah,
All right.
That's my friend.
And I'm not sure if my sister's on board, but shout out to my sister Shasta. She's in LA right now,
Wow.
but I don't know what time it is
Hollywood.
there. But it's 45 minutes ago that she posted something. So shout out to everybody joining us on Facebook
Thank you
Live
so
on
much.
JD's page. All right, JDT is the
Right.
page. So pizza at stake.
Okay. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
All right.
I wanted to say Dallas, but I think they need one more
Yeah.
key player.
They're gonna be making it maybe till the second round, but the West is really stacked.
Not enough, right?
Yeah.
And
they're not gonna have
KP is
enough
not 100% like
Man,
ready to kill yet.
I'm disappointed with KP. Game with versus the Suns, although they won versus my Suns, which is a bummer. KP was just shooting threes.
Yeah, he
not really
was-
doing anything.
Yeah, he's not. Yeah, he needs to bruise inside. I think he's kind of careful.
Yeah,
Because of
ACL, I believe. Yeah,
once you have
was
that
it.
injury, you okay. So now we're shifting.
Right. Well, first
like
things
that.
first. I want to talk about what my content is gonna be for the next year. I believe that's. I heard the other podcast that you made, and you told us that you're really not gonna be able to offer money, but I'm actually
Sponsorship?
very happy that you're offering publicity. That's
Of course, man. Are you kidding me?
Right. Definitely. I'm very happy about
I'm not the
that.
guy to do that. I only have 2,000 people liking the page. That's not much by like Davao standards. I know like local Davao internet personalities who all they do is do emo posts in Bisaya, and they have
Right.
100,000 followers.
Like, post memes.
Yeah, we can go there. We can go that route, but that's not my thing.
Yeah, that's not my thing as
That's
well.
their success. I give that to them. So if I have 2,000 that like my page, or even just
That's good enough.
50% of the 2,000 like me for what we produce, I'm happy.
Right.
Okay.
Definitely my end as well.
So what's your agenda? What's your
Well, actually,
Content.
most of my friends are actually stating that you should do like a Kong TV style.
okay? The
like-
video. The
Yeah, the
I don't follow him as much. What does he do?
He just likes do
Anything?
raw vlogs every day.
Does he do unboxing?
anything? Absolutely.
You know what?
anything.
If I'm ever gonna do a vlog, you know what? The closest I'll be able to sort of maybe I can pull off. Like Bitoy, like Michael
Yeah,
V.
right,
Because he's I know he has somebody doing the camera work for
Right.
him, but he's really more it's like he just sits there,
Spontaneous,
unboxes,
yeah.
he just shows you the Nintendo Switch
Right.
or whatever gadget he has, or maybe he'll go somewhere. But he's not like the personality where you have to be hyped 24/7. I think you have that energy level
Thanks.
because that's exhausting. I
Right,
think you
it
have
is.
that energy level to maintain that and sustain that.
I hope so. I hope so.
Kong and Will have it, right?
Kong and Will have it. I just love it that they're actually excelling in the contents that they're creating. But I'm more of a Casey Neistat guy.
Yes, which is for me. I'm
Not really comedic, but the content is there. It's
Yeah.
about what he does, and
Yes.
I want to have that in me as well.
it's like a diary,
Right.
like your daily diary,
Right,
and you're sharing it, and you're not forced to be funny.
Absolutely, yeah.
See, that's the hardest thing to do is when
Right.
people expect you to be funny.
That's not my thing. I
same
am
here.
I am actually like good in jokes. I mean, like literal jokes when I'm on the spot.
Yeah.
Like, if you guys are drinking, I
Yeah.
can say jokes there. But if I'm vlogging or like putting out content,
Like trying to be funny, that's different, right?
That's
I mean, if you say something and it ends up being funny, that's how I do it.
Yeah,
like
that's a
I never
bonus.
like intend to be funny,
Right.
And it's so funny. Well, there you go, no pun intended. It's so funny because like when I host events, like whenever I have like a meeting with a like coordinator or the client,
Mm-hmm.
and they'd be like, "Can you be funny?" I'm like, "Mom." That
That's not-
depends on the sense of humor of your
Right,
guests.
right,
You know, if my humor is like this level and the humor of your audience is like
Yeah,
slapstick, then
it's just
I'm not
not-
gonna be funny.
yeah, it's just
they're
not
not
the
gonna
same
they're not
wavelength.
gonna get my references. They're not gonna get my double meanings and
Right.
whatever. They just get a comedian.
they're
hire
more of
somebody.
like these guys from Zigudo maybe.
Yeah.
will be better for them.
And I think we're both on the same boat. Like where if something ends up being funny, it has to be somewhat like intelligent,
Right.
like smart humor.
Smart humor.
And That's the thing. That's the thing when I was doing radio, because I'm more like the talky guy. Like I really couldn't care less what song I was playing. Like I would be waiting for the song to end so I can talk. And it happens where
I'm
in
excited.
Davao, like people don't really like you to talk too much on radio because most of the people obviously tune in for the music.
For the music.
But I really wanted to talk, and that's what kept me in radio for like 2 decades, basically. It's because I was allowed to talk. But the thing is, I know that it's like a double-edged sword.
Definitely.
Like 50% of the audience could hate me for talking, but 50% could love me for talking.
Right.
Where do you put your... So now when the podcast thing came about, and I just like left radio and turned 180 degrees, left it, and decided to do the podcast, freedom. Freedom to talk as much, freedom to say, and if I only have 5 listeners, but they're enjoying themselves, I'll take the 5 over the 500 who doesn't care.
Right.
Even though the 500 might get you a sponsorship.
Right. Just waiting for the music. Actually, to be very honest, the time when I was listening Magic way back Killer B,
Yeah.
I was always on a jeepney going to school, and I was always like
do you have the
texting you
headphones
guys.
on? Do you
Yeah,
have
I was
headphones
on
on?
my headphones.
Yeah.
I was always like waiting for you guys to talk.
Really?
Yeah, it
Because
was
we would stop talking if we were eating.
right.
Like
right,
sometimes we
right.
have guests
I
coming in,
remember
they'll bring
that, yeah.
food, so we're like, okay, we'll play songs. So everybody knows that when we're playing songs,
You're
we're eating.
Yeah, I remember that. Gabby would always say that. Oh,
Yeah.
it brings in.
Yeah,
they're
there's
gonna stop
food.
the show. Yeah,
There's food. I appreciate that, man. Because I mean,
I'm really into that.
the best messages that I would get from the listeners, obviously we appreciate people, saying you guys doing a good job. But the best ones are the ones that say, you know what, I'm in the Jeep and the passengers are looking at me because I'm just cracking up because they have the headphones on
Headphones.
and they're cracking
I
up.
used to do that.
And people
like,
would look at them because they're like just like crack up.
Smiling.
And for me, that's like, oh man, like I touched a chord there. Like that's,
right.
oh, if I could hug this person because that's exactly what I'm doing this for.
Right.
I'm not getting paid as much.
I remember
That's what we're doing it for.
I remember when you gave me a shout out because I only greeted like Gabby on the show.
Yes.
You told me like, man,
Yeah.
we're Facebook
Where's the love
friends.
for me? What's going on here? But obviously you have to spread the love,
Absolutely.
right? But okay. So what
Right.
else are you up to?
Moving forward, well, actually 2020, I believe, I'm gonna be releasing my clothing line.
Wow. Are you an artist as well?
Well, not really in the sense that I could do these drawings, but it's all in like.
Oh man.
all the
Can you
thoughts.
release a Rod Rodriguez limited line where I would
not?
feature my drawings?
Why not?
Oh man, that's awesome.
Man,
because
I'm open to that.
like I feel like I'm gifted with some skills. I just don't have the drive to do anything about it.
Sure.
You have the drive.
Definitely.
This is gonna work.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, let's do that.
This is
because
gonna work.
My first clothing line was actually way back 2016.
And what was it? What, like graphics? Like
Yeah, it's actually it's named Roots and Culture. They're doing very good.
Okay.
They're doing very good. I left that because I was busy at work.
okay.
So I created my own way back in 2017. I call it Skewer Clothing.
Okay.
I'm not really sure why I named it that, but
So what is it like? It's like hype beast type clothing, like
not really
that kind of
hype beast
lifestyle.
type, but I'm really trying to build the identity first now.
Okay.
Before we just released basics for it.
All right, cool.
So yeah, we're gonna be releasing that early first quarter of 2020. So yeah, I hope everyone's expecting that, especially my viewers here.
Yeah, and we'll have a tie up.
Yeah,
It'll be
absolutely.
like a Rod Rodriguez collab.
Absolutely.
with
Let's
the-
do that. Let's
So
do
what's
that.
the name of your shirts? Yeah, you're gonna
Yeah, I'm gonna be like linking that up. Is
yeah,
that
you have an Instagram for your. 'Cause
Yeah.
I noticed. Shout out to Joe Fisher. He gave me the heads up. Because we were like, I was talking to Chuck about doing our own shirt line, and like just get. He actually had this concept where you design the shirt, but you send the design to these people abroad, and they'll send the shirts back. They're
Yes.
the ones who will produce it,
That's
or
Shirtly.
they can order it online, and
Yes.
they'll mail it directly from them.
Yeah.
You just kind of have this
Yeah.
relationship, like a Shopify
Yeah.
situation.
That company is Shirtly.
Okay, Shirtly. Yes.
Shirt, that's
so
LY, yeah.
we were like almost that close to pulling that off,
But
but
let's pull it off. 2020 is ours.
I'll let you do that line of work. I'll be the creative. I'll be the creative contributor because obviously you have your own
Right.
creations. That's the
Absolutely.
main thing. That's cool, man. I'm excited
Let's
about
tie up. Let's like Skewer X
excited
Rod
about that.
Rodriguez.
that. I need
Partnership.
like new life.
Yeah.
I'm more. I don't know. Like I feel like I'm retired. But then with the
But not
podcast, like with the podcast, I'm like, oh man, this is so cool. Because I was watching Joe Rogan and he had Charlemagne the God. I don't know if you know
Right.
him. He's like a DJ for Power in the U.S. And he said that there's no excuse for talented people or people who are expressive to not be able to share what they, because the platform is there. Take your pick.
Take your pick.
And for the most part, it's free. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and you're doing it.
I am.
My question to you, though, before you proceed with your plans for 2020, aren't you burning yourself out with too much food on your plate?
That's the thing. I label myself as maybe
Jack of all trades, master of none.
Master of none. But the thing is, I always hear this from Gary Vaynerchuk. I don't know if you know him.
Gary V, of course. The guy can talk nonstop.
Yeah, Gary V always tells us to release content in any way possible. That's why I'm telling myself that video is not enough. I can do this. I could like plug it in my schedule. That's not a problem. You could last an hour or two in the podcast and not really eat up all of your schedule.
Yes, that's true.
That's good.
You probably spend more time like eating at McDonald's or something.
You probably spend more time watching Netflix.
Probably.
Right. That's why I'm telling myself, why not do this and do that and do this and do that? So I'm not really thinking that I'm getting burned out. I'm just, what my mindset is that I'm releasing content and I'm happy.
Okay.
Because this is the tagline of Gary, really. He always says this, do what makes you happy.
Yes.
And I love talking.
Yes. Same here, man.
Yeah.
It's kind of obvious.
So I love doing podcasts as well. The time that I released 4 of my episodes, I really wanted to do more. That's why I'm going to be creating my home studio as well.
That's good.
Yeah.
Don't forget me when you're there.
Absolutely.
Because I'm telling you, the world now, it's for the young. It's for you. It's yours for the taking. Guys like me, I'm like, I had my chance. I'm good. I mean, I still want to be a part of it, but I'm not gonna force the issue. Right. Like, I'm not gonna be like, not stepping on Julius Babao, but I'm not gonna be wearing hype beast clothes when I'm Julius Babao level already. Because leave that for the kids. Right. They wear the Yeezys, they wear the whatever. I'll stick to my whatever. So you're at that stage. You're 23. I mean, man, if you start now, my only worry is, like I said, you said so yourself. You're thinking you're a jack of all trades, master of none. Yeah. Now, if you have the energy level to maintain it and sustain it, by all means, go. But at the same time, there's got to be that one out of the 3 or 4 or 5
you got to be main guy.
You prioritize that. Right. If you can give up all of them and only sustain and keep one, which one would it be? Would it be the podcast? Would it be the vlog? Would it be?
Well, the reason for me creating the podcast is that I can do it through video.
Oh, yeah.
So it's just like a vlog, but it's in a podcast setting.
That's true. Like Joe Rogan.
Just like Joe Rogan.
I mean, Joe Rogan, here's the thing with Joe Rogan. He's got like a huge following in podcasts. Right. I mean, he's on iTunes. I don't think it's on Spotify, but you can find some episodes on Spotify. He's on iTunes. He's got a huge following. But if you look at his YouTube page, he has like 3 million people following him too. And the 3 million people, they're not watching him walk around, do UFC stuff. No, he's just sitting there on the desk talking to someone.
Right.
And most of the time, it's someone, a popular celeb, but sometimes it's an unknown, right? So, yeah, basically, that's the thing. It's like when you're doing your podcast, you're doing your YouTube video.
Yeah. So that's it. It's just like a combination. I'm not really going to burn myself out with thinking about topics because topics are out there.
Yes, there's always something to talk about.
Yeah, there's always something.
You could be lying down. The funny thing is, like, I could be lying down in bed and have a brilliant idea for a topic.
Right.
The problem is, and I don't know if Gary V ever talked about this. This guy is like an inspirational, like motivational speaker. For those who don't know who Gary V is, not Gary V the singer. All right, Natutulog pang Diyos. Not that guy, but he's kind of a motivational speaker too. Right. Gary Valenciano, right?
Right.
I mean, it's kind of like ADHD, that guy. It's like, I get the feeling that if he does like, if Gary Valenciano ends up being a motivational speaker, I always feel like while he's talking, he's doing the like breakdance.
The one that he's doing.
Like, shout for joy. Like he's always like doing the struts. So that's very motivational. But kidding aside, I mean, here's the thing. Like, the way I see it is like, if you have a brilliant thought in your head, and you're like, oh, that's a great, because I have one idea for an episode, and I don't know if we can talk about it like in another episode or whoever I'm gonna end up talking about it with. Just thinking about how rich is rich enough. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like because I saw an interview of 50 Cent, and 50 Cent was interviewed, and he was like, "What? You're already a successful rapper." Like, this was back when he had money. Like, he's kind of broke now. But he had money, and he's like, you already have a lot of money. You already have like millions of dollars. What makes you want to pursue vitamin water, and pursue other forms of businesses? Aren't you rich enough? I mean, and he said, there are levels.
Right.
He said, once you get your first million, you start surrounding yourself with a different crowd. And the crowd that's around you have 10 million. So now you want the 10 million.
Yeah.
So then when you get the 10 million, you start hanging around with people who have 50 million.
Right.
And then you're like, wow, they have
wanna
yachts.
achieve that,
They
yeah,
have, private jets. Crap, I got to get 50 million. Then you get the 50 million. Then you start hanging out with people who have 100 million.
Right.
That's why it's always a good idea to hang out with poor people.
Right.
Just hang out with broke-ass friends, all right? Because you're always going to feel better if you're hanging out with your broke-ass friends, because you're going to be the richest guy there, even if you only have 100 pesos in your wallet.
Right, definitely.
Unfortunately, you're the one who's going to end up paying for their fare.
At the end of the day, you're just gonna...
Bayari sa kabi.
20, not a 20 bay. Well, the thing for that is I don't really like to label richness,
Okay, like wealth, monetarily.
Wealth,
yeah, monetarily.
because I really am a fan of Gary.
Okay.
So Gary always says that your wealth is not measured by how much money you make.
So it's not, okay.
It's measured by how what you're doing is making you happy.
Okay.
That's the only thing for me. Basically, I want money. Definitely.
Of
Who
course.
doesn't? Who doesn't?
Okay, let me correct you on that. We don't want money.
We don't want
We want the things that money can provide for
Yes,
us.
absolutely.
What am I gonna do with pieces of paper?
Right.
I mentioned this on the show when I was doing the morning show in Magic Killer B, and I always say, money is worthless unless it's spent.
Right.
It has no value. You can't eat money.
Absolutely.
I'd rather have piaya. I'd rather have Master Shomai than
Which you
money.
don't
What am I
like.
gonna? If I'm in an island and you're stuck with $1 billion
What can you
in
do with
bills,
it?
what are you gonna do with it? You can't even
Right.
sleep comfortably on it, right? So
Well, try to think of it. If you're in the now, and you think as yourself that if you had lots of money, what's gonna happen, and if what's happening now?
Okay, so how rich is rich enough? Like you said, you don't really care. You just want to. Okay, so how rich is rich enough for you to be able to do the things you do without being broke at the end of the day? Because, I mean, you need your camera. You need
Right.
your internet connection. You need
Right.
the studio. You need all that stuff. So maybe that's what's going to make you happy. Okay, how rich is... Because
Right.
some people, they want Ferraris and stuff. I'm not for that. Like, I'm
Me
like
too.
you. We're in the same boat. That's why I thought about that topic. Like, how rich is rich enough? Because, I mean, you see people in like... I mean, there's corruption everywhere,
Right.
and you see people, they already have 300 million in their bank
Not
account,
really about
and
that.
they'll still steal money.
Right.
They'll still find ways to. I'm like, 300 million? You could live up to like 100 and not spend all that money.
Right.
And eat caviar every day. I mean, how rich is rich enough? Oh, because I'm thinking about the future of my children. You don't even know what your children are going to be like, or your
Right.
grandchildren. They
Maybe
might be
they'll
like,
more successful than you, right?
yeah. So, yeah, for you, like right now, if somebody asked you that spontaneous question, JD, how rich is rich enough? Like, what's, like, if you have that much money, you'd be like, you're good. Like, I can,
In the
it's not
sense-
like you're stopped doing what you're doing. It's
Right.
like, that's good. That's like, for me, more than that would be too much already. Like 100 million?
That's too much.
You see?
That's too much.
That's what people say. How much money does Manny Pacquiao have? You think he's saying that's too much? Why is he still fighting and getting his butt kicked?
I'm
While
not
his
really
house
sure.
helpers are lying down there, enjoying the
Right.
fruits of his labor. His driver's not even getting pinched, and he's getting his butt kicked. He's.
I'm not really sure. I don't want to judge Pacquiao.
I'm not saying that too.
Yeah.
I think it's the people around him that don't want him to quit.
Right.
I think he wants to
well-
quit.
For me, I think he doesn't want to quit. I think he loves the game.
No, man. I mean, he loves his family more.
I
And
would
if
think
you know
so as
your
well.
life will be shortened because
Right,
of, your liver's getting punched all the time. Jinky Pacquiao was interviewed, and I'm not, like, by any means a reliable source.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just, like, reading the tabloids just as much. So don't take my word for it, all right? It's not for the record. I heard, like, Jinky Pacquiao supposedly mentioned that Manny Pacquiao pees blood.
Mm-hmm.
Like, after a fight, he will pee and blood comes out. Dude, if I had only 1 million, I'm done.
I'm done.
Like, I'm not
Even
getting
me.
punched anymore.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He lives at
Right.
Forbes Park. He has so many businesses. He doesn't
That's
even
really
have enough.
enough.
He has a mansion in LA. He drives a Ferrari. He's got kids who speak English way better than he ever could.
Right.
They go to international schools. Your wife sells designer bags and buys designer bags. I mean, your mom has a Hermes, whatever. I
Louis
mean,
Vuitton.
What your siblings are all set. What more do you need? I mean, I know he loves, but come on, you gotta love your family more. If not for you,
Right.
you gotta think I gotta live longer for to see my grandchildren.
Yeah, that's the thing there. Maybe it confuses him at times. Is he really fighting for the money, or it confuses
Or
people
for
as
the
well,
glory, or for
or for the glory, or for really the love of the game? I'm
Yeah.
not. That's
I-
what confuses
my
people.
take on it is, the fire has died. We saw Pacquiao when he was wearing the no fear shorts and his
Right.
hair was kind of colored.
Bulagaw.
Yeah, bulagaw. That was the killer Pacquiao. That was the Pacquiao that was in it for the game. He was like, I'm gonna get. He was Pac-Man. He was nonstop, just a killing machine in the ring. I think that's done. And then he smartened up and didn't want to get hurt that much, so he did the business deals and did the
Yeah.
Mayweather fight and
Mayweather
just
fight.
got paid. Not doesn't matter if he
really,
knocks the guy out or not.
Right.
And then obviously he had that fight with Thurman, and people are saying he's still got a couple more fights in him. My take on this is I think it's the people around him who he's made rich.
Right.
They're the ones. It's like he's like the manok pang sabong.
Mm.
You know, you're not the chicken. You're not the rooster.
Right.
You're not the cock. So you don't have to worry about getting killed in there.
Right.
You just collect the winnings. So these guys are like, no, don't give him money, because we still need the
You
money.
can do it, you can do
know,
it.
Yeah, you can do it. Go. And all these guys are hanging out with him, getting wealthy at his expense.
Right.
And I'm not here to be like a saint or whatever to tell him not to do it anymore. Whatever, he can do whatever he wants. I'm just using it as an example. Like if I were him, I would have been done a long time ago.
Even me.
Like if after that Mayweather fight, that's it.
That's good.
Conor McGregor, he got paid, let's say, $100 million from the fight with Mayweather.
Yeah, Mayweather.
And then he like relaxed a bit. And then he fought Khabib and got his butt kicked.
Butt kicked.
Right?
Definitely.
And now they're saying he's coming back again. Why? Because he's used up his $100 million already? Is he like done already with $100 million?
Because he want to make more millions, or he just really loves it.
I think it's the 50 Cent thing where,
Right. Yeah. It really catches up with the lifestyle that you have.
So hang out. Don't forget your,
Roots.
where you started from and stick to that.
Stick to that,
Because
definitely.
there are levels. You've seen this meme on the internet, right? Of this guy looking at the helicopter and the helicopter pilot looking at the, the guy on the walking looking at the guy with the bike.
Right,
you know,
right,
you know
yeah.
that, right?
And the one at the window who
Yes.
can't even walk.
Yes. Like if you live in a house and it's so hot, you only want paypay.
Right.
Once you get the paypay, you want electric
You want
fan.
electric fan,
When
you
you have
want
electric fan, you want aircon. Once you have aircon, you want like the big aircon.
Yeah.
Like it grows, and then all of a sudden you realize, I was fine when I just had paypay.
Right.
Right?
I was even fine without the pipe. I just make hookahs.
Yeah. That's true. I mean, but anybody can have a paypay, man.
Right.
Like, you can make paypay out of anything.
you just like take off your shirt, then roll it
Use
up.
your
and-
hands and make it paypay.
Yeah.
If you
Roll it up.
that's a topic we should
Right.
discuss. That's for me. I think, and it's not about being materialistic. It's really when you think about like how rich is rich enough, and this is not for people like us because we're normal people.
Right.
We're not at that level. We're looking at it, from the perspective of those who we think are he already is too rich. Why is he still doing stupid things?
Right.
Why is he still risking it? Is it still about the money, or is it about the game, or is it
Right.
about the legacy?
The people around him, maybe. Right?
Yeah,
That's
'cause-
just like what you said.
Yeah, because for me, man, if once I get enough,
That's you're good.
I'd retire. I'd go to
Right.
like Italy or something with my family, and
Spend your time there.
yeah, sip margaritas and stuff, and
Yeah.
buy video games and watches and stuff that I like. And you'd probably be like vlogging with
Yeah.
like celebrities and stuff or whatnot. But
Right.
yeah, all right. So go ahead, continue with your lineup.
Well, one thing is that the growing. Well, this is a different topic, whole different topic. This season in Davao is the Davao is actually rising to become a sneaker city.
Yes.
Well,
It is.
before it wasn't. We would just be contented with what we have at NCCC
Yes.
for 500 pesos.
Very specific, huh? Very,
Sorry.
like okay, what? Like add in KP?
Yeah.
What are you talking about here?
Before
Because
actually,
my time's Mighty Kid.
I actually don't remember the brands, but I actually was in the varsity team.
Okay.
I asked my mom to buy me basketball shoes. He bought me something that was like below 500 pesos, and like after one practice, it broke.
Yeah, for sure. It's fine. What do you expect from 500?
Right. Well, after that, I believe that the scene is growing, especially with the people who are selling hyped shoes
Yes.
here in Davao, especially my cousin. One of my cousins is actually one of the sellers of hype shoes here. His
Oh,
name is
wow.
Ronald Paulino. You could actually add him on Facebook. I'm gonna link it down below. Ronald Paulino.
He's
Man.
like one of the major sneakerheads.
Major sneakerheads
And
and
he's
major
a reliable
seller.
source.
Reliable
Like
source.
we're not talking like AAA
No.
class, whatever.
OEMs, replicas,
Legit.
legit.
Okay.
Hype shoes. These are the shoes that you can actually see in malls. These are the shoes that you can see in sneaker pond.
Okay, how's his pricing? Is it Davao price, Manila price?
These are legit prices.
Okay, can you give me because my wife has
example.
been mentioning like, babe, I like the Yeezy, and I've always looked at the Yeezy as like kind of a feminine looking shoe.
Right.
Like I wouldn't like I like it, but it doesn't look good on me, you know. And I know it will look. How much is a Yeezy?
That depends on basically the model.
The entry level Yeezy, the most basic.
Around 9?
9K?
9.
Like I mean, like that's reseller price already.
Reseller price. But if you actually look at the more rare stuff, it actually is 25 up.
Yeah, because I was assuming like maybe it's around 18 up.
Right.
But
Definitely.
but the basic one is
Yeah. You can find Yeezys
Cool.
that are very basic for like 9, 12.
it's like a boost. Right?
But that is only for a bid price for stock X.
Oh,
Right.
Okay, so bid
That's
price
a starting
is-
point. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's not really that you're gonna get it right away.
Oh man.
But my cousin actually sells these stuff, Yeezys, like Yeezys that are actually not really
Is it still big? I know. Here's what I noticed with Yeezys, and here's what I noticed with
Like, it's like
sneakerheads
boat-
and the
boat
sneaker
shoes.
lifestyle. Here's what I noticed about it. It's like if it's very exclusive and hard to find, everybody wants it.
Absolutely.
When like the Jologs people start wearing it, you're like, I don't want to be associated with
Yeah,
them. I'm
the
not wearing
reason
that
for
crap
it,
anymore.
It's because it's so hyped. It's so hyped.
And there's so many fakes.
Right. So many fakes.
So many
man.
fakes. You have to rock it. It's like a Rolex watch. You know, you can't really go and say, "Oh, I have a Rolex." People will be
Right.
like, "Yeah, right."
Yeah, right. Let me check on it.
It says Rolex.
Well, the thing with that, with the OEMs and everything, that really bums these guys out because they're trying to sell Yeezys for 22,000, 25,000, 30,000, and like having the other guy buy it for only 600 pesos
Yes.
and like
And people still like fall for it.
right,
Right.
because it looks exactly
And
like
nobody's
it.
really gonna tell you to take it off. Daw be, sige daw be, patanaw daw be.
tanaw daw ko,
You're right.
Pakumutan ako. But
And that person probably doesn't even know what a real one looks like.
Right. They just like it because it's so hyped.
Yeah.
That's the pros and cons of being like into the sneaker scene. You can wear the most hyped shoes like the Yeezy creams, like the white ones, and have someone in the jeepney riding the jeepney that had it for like 600 pesos. Like
Yeah.
that's a bummer
Yeah,
for all the
man.
sneakerheads.
That is a bummer.
Right.
And he looks more legit than you.
Right. You're like you don't dress up that much because your shoes are just like more
Yeah.
expensive than what you eat for a month.
I always kind of like make a connection with another thing before I actually like finalize my thoughts on whether that's legit or not. Like, for
Right.
example, if I see a guy wearing a Rolex and
You
he's
check
like
on him first.
yeah, and he's like in a tricycad or something, you know, you kind of have to wonder, right? That you need to like actually at least have a car because his
Right.
watch is like worth more than my car,
Right.
I mean, you kind of is that legit? But then again, he might be one of those eccentric rich guys who
Right.
own a hardware and he's
Right.
just riding a tricycle because
tricycle.
he's getting a part for a car that he's
That's the
selling.
thing, yeah.
You know, we don't know, but yeah, there's so many factors. But a Yeezy, a footwear that's very accessible.
It is.
I mean, it can be accessible. I see people. I mean, I literally like know people who have 70,000 peso phones, like the latest iPhone 11.
11.
And I'm like, for the life of me, you spent 70,000
For a
to
phone.
get that phone when you could have just gotten that thing they sell online, the sticker one that you can stick on your.
Right.
Make it
The
look like
camera
an
one, so that it would look like an iPhone 11.
And that's gonna bum you out too,
Right, it is.
because you'd be like, "Hey, I paid 70,000 for my iPhone 11 Pro," and he's like,
Look at
Look
this.
at mine, Huawei, but it looks like the real thing. Hey, Huawei expensive, by the way.
Expensive,
It's
yeah.
expensive, yeah. Not
And
Huawei.
Those are beautiful.
What's a
phones.
cheap phone?
Cherry Mobile?
Does Cherry Mobile still exist?
I
Does-
think so.
Do those phones still exist? Torque, my
My
phone.
phone, I
don't,
believe so. I think so.
Because I mean,
Or are they
I
phased
think
out?
Oppo is like the most
Yeah.
affordable.
Oppo, Vivo, yeah.
Yeah, Oppo.
Those are-
I haven't heard much about the other ones, but
Right.
anyways, regardless, yeah. So it bums you out when
yeah, definitely. I like this ones. These are the.
you. That looks sweet, man.
Yeah, these are the 2016
Air Force?
ones. These are for the Golden State. So it has the like luminous NBA logo that shows AF1
So
as
like
well.
you can't buy that at any shop.
I
It's gonna be
believe
hard
so.
to find.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard to find.
Okay,
So,
if you decide to sell that to a hardcore fan, how much would you be able to like?
I believe I'd be able to sell it for, because these were only just around sevens when they got it.
Like 7K?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was very cheap because because there were lots of releases for any
But
other
when you're a sneakerhead and you say 7K, that's cheap.
Yes.
But when you say that to your mom, mom
Just
would be like,
slap you, right?
Wag na unsa ka. Wag ka kuya. Kapag ka sapatos, Baosheng. At Gmall, 5.20, you know, whatever. It's like...
Yeah, you would buy some Vapor Maxes for like 200 pesos in the market.
Your mom takes off her shoe, shows it to you, and it says Korea. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, I guess where that's made. But like I said, if you're a sneakerhead, 7K is cheap.
Right.
But for a dad like me, I'm like, man, I'm scratching my... I had to justify that purchase to the wife.
Right.
You know, because when you're married or when you're still dependent on your mom's income, you always have to sort of justify to them your purchases, even with your girlfriend, right?
Right.
You have to justify your purchases to them that it's going to be reciprocated. Like it's a productive purchase.
Right. It's
Like
It's an asset.
you're buying the latest LeBron because you play commercial basketball,
right.
right? Or I'm buying mics
Because you want to do a
because I'm
podcast.
doing a podcast and I might get sponsorship
Right.
soon and maybe earn my money back or something. Or I can do recording for voiceovers,
Yes.
which I actually do.
Which you
By the
do.
way,
Very
voiceover
well.
services accepted. All right.
This guy one of the best.
Oh man, come on. Just one of the trying to be. All right. So yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, definitely.
So being a sneakerhead, 7K is already entry level purchase.
You'd be able to sell this maybe.
Okay, that one.
I'd be able to sell this at maybe five or six. And that's good. I believe for a shoe that has really lots of
limited.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's
you would say
already good.
5 you mean 55,000 or 5,500?
5,500. It's very
Really?
cheap just because they are lots of teams that they developed this for too. They had Chicago types.
But I think it's more about the availability, though.
Right.
Can you go to SM and buy that?
No. You can't see that. Well,
There you go.
Yeah. Definitely you'd be able to sell it for a higher rate for people who doesn't know where to look.
Okay.
Because there's lots of websites where you can look for.
I was in Hong Kong with my family last December on vacation for Christmas, and I was looking for Yeezys. I mean, if I walked in a shop, we went to the Adidas store along like Nathan Road, and a lot of people were there. I ended up buying like a Boost. It's there somewhere. I'll show it to you. I don't know. It's just they sell this at the mall now, but it's like this one.
Oh yeah.
So it's the whatever. It's got that.
Yeah, it's got the Boost, yeah.
Thing. It's got that red. So it's like a support. Anyway, that was on sale, so I was able to buy it. But you know, the funny thing was, I was expecting, okay, this is Hong Kong. I could walk in any sneaker shop here, and there'd be Yeezys everywhere.
Right.
There was like one store there with like a Yeezy, and it was in a glass display. I'm like, this is Hong Kong. They should have all the complicated stuff here already.
Right.
And for me, I'm a sneakerhead noob. So if I walk in, maybe some were more limited than the Yeezy. I just didn't know. So I was just basing it on the Yeezy or
Right.
what's the other one? The one with the two lines here on the rectangle things on the side?
The rectangles. Jordans?
No. It's like running shoes also, but it became a hit for Adidas as well.
NMDs.
They were like NMDs, yeah, but not that many. So I was
Right.
like, where do you find this stuff? In Manila, where do you find that stuff?
Actually, you can find it at Green Hills. Green Hills has a lot of fakes, right?
Yes, but they have the legit ones
But
too.
they have the legit ones on a particular store called Got Goods. I'm plugging Got Goods.
Yeah, hook us up.
Hook us up.
Sneakers.
Yeah.
Size
Got
9.
Goods,
Size 9. What's your size?
Size 11.
Oh, man.
10.5.
Got big feet.
Right. Well,
Is it true? Ask your girlfriend.
sure.
Is
Absolutely.
it true? The bigger the... Pag big feet. Big din ang heart. Heart.
Of course. Well, the sneakers there in Got Goods are legit. They have the Yeezys. They have everything you want with regards to hyped shoes,
Okay.
which you cannot find in Davao.
Okay.
That's why these resellers are here. Just like
Okay.
my cousin.
Got it.
He messages me so many times to
Yes.
plug him.
Oh, speaking of sneakerheads, I'd like to do a shout out since you're plugging your cousin.
Sure.
Shout out to Mr. Toffee Ang,
Toffee Ang.
one of the guys behind Streets, the bar. Yeah, a very popular bar, Streets. Toffee Ang, he's a sneakerhead, that guy. And you know, sometimes he'll get sick of his sneakers and he'll sell like 6 pairs at one go, like super cheap. And I got to talk to him, and I was like, and he showed me like Yeezys and stuff, and I'm like. Dude, shout out to Enzo Cook as well. He's a sneakerhead too. And I asked Toffee, I'm like, why are a Yeezy so hard to find, so expensive? And he said, you know, sometimes they're a limited release for
Right.
certain sneakers and certain models that they pay people to line up
Absolutely.
to be one of the first to get because it's such a limited release. So you're actually paying for that effort of
Right.
that person lining up to
And
get
it's
your...
not actually that expensive when you can get it the first time. If you're one of the first people to get it, it gets more expensive when it gets on resale.
Jeez.
That's why it like appraises to around 45,000, 50,000. There even is a pair of Yeezys that is over 100,000.
Oh wow.
Right.
That's crazy. I mean, I've heard of Jordans that go up in the millions.
Definitely.
There's another one. What's the other one? The Off-Whites?
Off-Whites. Definitely. Of course.
Dang, those things are expensive.
Off-Whites are very expensive just because it says Off-White.
Is there an Off-White here? I mean, is there anybody who sells it here?
My cousin does.
Like, how much is an entry-level Off-White? If there isn't even an entry-level Off-White. They're like Air Force that has that, like, extra tag or like this specific look to
The
it.
cheapest, I believe, that my cousin sells, I'm not really sure. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ronald. It's around 28 to 30.
Oh, man.
Right. Just for entry level Off-Whites.
What is it, like an Air Force?
Yeah, maybe an Air Force Off-White or a Jordan 1 Off-White.
Oh, wow.
But that Jordan 1 Off-White will not be a limited one.
Okay.
Because we only have, for Jordan Off-Whites, we only have the Chicago ones, the Breads, and the UNCs.
So what's the most expensive? The bread?
The UNCs.
The UNCs? The North Carolina
North
ones?
Carolina
They're
ones.
like blue? North
blue.
Carolina blue. Oh, man.
That's so expensive, but... And it's so hard to find. You'd only see it for resellers who really use it for once.
Okay.
Then like
So
resell
if
it.
you see somebody with like an Off-White UNC and he doesn't really look the part, you probably think it's a fake, right?
It's a fake.
You'd be like, he got that at Ruins at BF.
Right. Because
By the way, at BF Parañaque, there's this place because that's
Right.
where my dad lives. At BF, there's this place there called Ruins. And you go in there and they have everything.
Right.
They'll hook you up with
It's
everything.
like
It's like Green
Cartimar.
Hills. It's like like that.
well, this was a bummer for me as well. I love Devin Booker. He has a line of AF1s. Actually, one AF1 only that says, "No sir, yes ma'am."
Okay.
And it's in silver and like bluish.
Okay.
And my friend like posted a pic and I said like, "What the hell?
He
You
has
got
it?
that?
Yeah.
It's not in the Philippines." I told him. I only saw it at Foot Locker. Then he bought it at Cartimar at 600.
I mean,
That bums me out
see,
so
that
much.
bums you out because you know why? Because they're onto even that stuff.
Right.
I mean, you understand if it's like the LeBron, which is
LeBron,
like
okay,
common.
that's fine,
Everybody's
that's fine,
you
yeah.
can make 1,000 fakes, but for them to fake out like a
Like
Devin
something
Booker,
that I love.
yeah, and it's very like it's for a niche market,
Right.
and they're still faking it.
Right.
Oh man,
Right.
nothing
That's-
escapes those
yeah.
guys. All right,
But yeah, if someone on this podcast and on this,
I gotta turn on the lights,
YouTube-
man. It's getting dark.
Absolutely, yeah, sure. Well, just to plug my cousin out, you'd be able to get hyped out shoes, basically Yeezys, Jordan 1s. He actually released lots of Jordan 1s, UNCs. He was able to release an Obsidian, some actually hard pairs to find. He'd be able to get that ones for you. I actually got if you like basketball shoes, a Kobe shoe. I actually got it for 5,000 only. It's on resale for 9. I got it for 5.
So which model is this?
It's I believe it's the AD's Exodus.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to Google those things. 'cause
Kobe AD Exodus
I'm a
Moon
noob.
Particle. That's a white.
Is that
one.
like the one that goes all the way up?
Yeah. Oh no. That's the 9s.
Okay.
Those were paired for like Manny Pacquiao.
Okay, got it.
Right.
You know
Those
what
were-
I've been looking out for, but it's not that I'm gonna get it, but I was just a fan of the Presto from back in the day when it first
Prestos
came
are
out.
beautiful.
And I was looking for the new release, the Prestos that John Mayer wears, because or maybe Pharrell, I don't know who wears it now, but those Prestos that's kind of like high tops looking.
yeah.
And I can't find them anywhere. I mean,
You can't find it here.
it's hard to find
Hard
the
to find.
Prestos.
Prestos are hard to find, especially if it's a limited edition, and especially if someone already wore it,
Okay, all right.
like a big personality already wore
But
it.
it now falls under the leisure wear, right? It's
Yeah.
no longer running.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's like high cut,
Right.
like high tops. Right?
Shoes are now like being like paired to cars. Like some are luxury shoes, some are luxury
Some are
cars.
utility.
Yeah, some are utility.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if you are indeed to find hyped up shoes, you can actually visit my cousin's page, Ronald Paulino. It's gonna be linked below on this YouTube video.
So
So,
if ever hit him up for Yeezys, maybe a discount, you know?
Absolutely.
All right,
I'm gonna ask him.
because the wifey wants.
all right. Well, how about I ask you? It's your
Yeah.
show, I know.
No, it's cool, man. Go ahead.
What's your favorite
It's our
shoe to
show.
walk in?
My favorite shoes to walk in, Boost.
Boost.
Oh,
Definitely.
that's Boost, right?
Yeah, that's Boost.
There's like Ultra and there's Pure.
Yeah.
That one is Ultra, I think.
Ultra Boost. Yeah.
Ultra is more expensive.
Definitely.
Okay. Just making it clear, because mine's Ultra. Ultra, but they're still not that expensive.
Right.
Like, if I convert it, like Hong Kong dollars, it's probably only about like 6K, 7K. But if you look at it like at Adidas here, it's like 10K, 9K.
Right.
So it was cheaper in Hong Kong. It was because it was on sale. So it's either a model that didn't sell or they're getting rid of it.
Right.
So yeah, for me, it's because that's the most comfortable footwear I've ever.
Right. Well, aside from the Yeezys actually and the Ultra Boosts, these are actually the hype shoes that are most comfortable to walk in. Actually, these ones aren't comfortable to walk in. It's so hard.
Yeah, I know. I've had Air Force Ones
Yeah.
before, and they're freaking. But they made Air Force Ones that's soft now and light.
They have
I
ones.
saw it. Yeah, I think it was a green belt. I don't know. I was like, whoa, what the heck is this? This is cool.
Yeah. It
Those
has soft
right?
soles.
They
yeah.
have the soft sole.
But on AF ones, they're actually hype. These are like the retro ones. They actually are so hard to walk in.
Yeah.
So it's
Not
just for
comfortable.
forma and all that stuff.
Yes. Even the old Jordans, man.
Jordans are
Even the
very
old Jordans.
a little
They're
bit heavy as well.
Yeah, that's like the old school Nike rubber.
Yeah.
That's like there's no cushioning whatsoever, and they call it
Right.
Nike Air. Even the Air Max. Like I had an Air Max before. This was like I had an Air Max before. It was so high, and it was kind of stiff.
Right.
And it was not comfortable. But now,
yeah.
now of
Very
course, like
comfortable.
walking on air. I mean, like, but
Right.
for me, I'll swear by the Boost because that's the most comfortable footwear I own,
definitely.
and that's the one I wear.
And Jordan 4s, if you're a fan of Jordans, the holy grail of Jordans are Jordan 1s, Jordan 4s,
I love 4.
and Jordan 11s.
4 for me is
Yeah.
the bomb. That's the
4
bomb.
is the bomb, but it's so hard to walk in
11s
still.
is like the black and white, right?
Right.
The one with like the shiny part in
Yes,
the
the shiny
toe
part, yeah.
area. The 4 is the one with like the net. There's a
The
little
net,
bit on the
yeah.
net thing.
The only thing with the 4s are like if you get a retro one, actually is a little bit heavy,
Yeah, and not comfortable.
not comfortable.
Yes,
to
you want to
walk
get
in.
the soft, the
Yeah.
soft one,
Yeah.
right?
Well, yeah, those are the shoes that actually are really notable to sneakerheads, especially in Davao. And there are lots. If you're actually going to Okay-Okays, which are like markets for like used shoes and all that stuff.
Okay, my question: when you go to Ukay Ukay, what are the chances that it's legit? Are you think you're fooling these people by not knowing what they're
Right.
selling? But these people know what they're selling. I
Definitely.
think they know. So, is it a good source for legit footwear?
Well, it is.
Or
at
did they
times.
get brand new fake ones and make it look old and then
Right.
sell it and say
Some people do that, but it is best to maybe take a picture of it first. Then we actually have a page, a group on Facebook
so
where
they
you
can call you out if
yeah,
it's
you-
okay.
You could actually check. You could actually have them check if it's legit or fake.
Oh man.
Yeah, you can just ask, "Hey, guys,
and I
legit
know
check, please."
usually, yeah, guys will usually just post legit check, please.
yeah.
You know, and it's like it's so obvious. It
Yeah,
says
it's so-
Mikey.
And it has Jordan splitting, right?
Yeah, but no, it has the Pacquiao silhouette.
The one with the fadeaway.
The fade away like sitting down.
Yeah,
almost.
sitting down. Yeah. Well, it's a bummer that these ukay guys still sell fake ones. You like to get.
Have you ever heard of a story where somebody got a gold mine, like a diamond in the rough? Like
Yeah.
he went to the Ukay and got like legit breads or whatever.
My guy got legit white cements, Jordan 4 white cements.
Wow.
Yeah, it was one of the holy grails. Yeah.
And it's in good shape.
Good shape.
It's not
He only got it for
resold or whatever.
1.2.
That's not bad.
Not
And how much is it when you actually go buy it, the resale market?
Goes up to 12 up.
Oh,
For
okay.
Jordan
Yeah,
4s.
that's like
Yeah.
10%
Right.
of the price.
And that's a retro. You're not gonna see any retros now.
Yeah, they're not
well,
gonna bring that out unless
definitely.
it's a re-release or something,
Right.
right?
For
Oh,
re-release.
We got to wrap up the show. Like
Absolutely.
we'll do 5 more minutes.
Absolutely.
All right,
Yeah,
and then
let's
we'll
wrap it up.
the show.
Well, yeah, basically that's it for sneakers. If you're actually into sneakers, the content that I'm going to be releasing soon in my vlog are going to be about sneakers.
Okay.
We're going to be visiting all the sneakerheads in Davao.
That's so
Yeah.
cool, man.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to thrift some shoes,
Okay.
then have them legit check it live.
Oh
On my
man, that's
channel.
awesome. Okay, so hold on. See, that's what I kind of envy with the sneakerheads, much like the car guys.
Right.
You guys have a strong community.
Right,
Like people really get involved. Like
Yeah,
when you
definitely.
guys get together, you really like you know what you're talking about. Like I'm kind of starting that with like a watch community. But you see the watch people, like those that own the high-end watches here in Davao, they don't really want to be known.
Right,
They don't want to be afraid, that their stuff's gonna get stolen. So I can't really like invite them to get together or whatever. And I mean, it would be easier if we were like a G-Shock owners,
Right.
because there's a lot and everybody they don't mind losing their G-Shock. But for those that own like high-end watches, they're not gonna show up.
Jaguars.
Yeah, they're not gonna show up. Rolexes, they're not gonna show up at get together. So it's hard. But with the car community, the sneakerhead community, we should do. Is there already a a vlogging, podcasting, social media community?
That's the thing.
Because I was thinking about that.
That's the thing. It's not, we don't have that yet.
Let's
in Davao.
have that.
That's why
Vlogger, blogger, podcast,
Definitely.
whatever. If it's social Instagram model,
Yeah.
if it's social media, let's help each other out.
Sure.
Because I mean, like I got into you've been wanting to podcast for a long time. I got into it, and now you're like, okay, you're gonna do it.
Yeah.
But at least you have an idea.
Yeah.
And for me, like, I'm a frustrated vlogger. Like, for the life of me, I can't vlog word squat. But I'm looking at your setup and how you execute it when you're doing the show.
Yeah.
Your show, the openings and all that. And I'm like, wow, all right. So you have to have the energy.
Yeah.
You have to have that energy.
Right.
You can't. That's why it's so funny, because if you watch Will Dasovich's vlogs, and when he has Erwan Yusuf in it, he's always poking fun at Erwan, because Erwan's kind of like, he's so laid back.
Yeah.
Like, though he has the looks, he has the fame, he's married to Ann
he's
Curtis, but he's like, okay, this is Erwan Yusuf. And Will is like, oh, and
Right, energetic.
He just gets overpowered by
Right.
Will's presence, and which is like your strength, So, and I learned from you.
Thank you.
So,
Thanks.
maybe there are those who are good at writing,
Right. Yeah.
who are the bloggers.
Bloggers,
Who
yeah.
started it all? It started with blogging.
Right.
It was
Absolutely.
blogging before
Before
vlogging,
vlogging,
before
podcast.
podcast, before everything.
Yeah.
So let's have a community.
Right. Definitely.
Let's get together.
Let's do that.
Share tips.
And
Help each other out. Cross guests.
Yeah, it's an up for our end, because we're gonna gain more audience, and if we gain more audience, it's gonna be up for them because they're gonna gain more buyers.
Yes.
So it's a win-win situation.
There's
for
strength in
everyone.
numbers.
Right, strength
And
in
I
numbers.
really, for me, I've just always been my frustration. It's like, there's access to information for everyone now.
Right.
Back when I was a kid, only the rich kids could afford the encyclopedias. Only the rich kids could travel abroad.
Right.
Only the rich kids could know about other cultures and other things. It's time for us to smarten up the generation.
Definitely.
We've been dumb long enough.
Right.
Just open people's minds, open people's perception of things. The world is getting smaller.
Right.
It's no longer like America is just there. People travel every day. People go to Japan. Like, you look at your Facebook posts, all your friends are traveling everywhere. Like peace affairs and whatnot. There's no
Promos.
excuse to be ignorant.
Right.
And I think it's partly that's my role. It's like, okay, people might listen to me and say, that guy's arrogant, that guy's whatever. No, it's just I'm sharing my experiences.
Right.
There's no arrogance whatsoever. It's just the truth. I didn't want to travel.
Right.
I was able to travel because of my dad. It wasn't my money, My dad was the one who was based on, I get to travel, and it enlightened me and it educated me in ways that textbooks can't,
Right.
in ways that my teachers at school can't, in ways that my barkada during childhood couldn't. Or don't limit yourself to your small circle.
Right.
Don't live in a pond. You won't learn to swim. Go to the ocean.
Right.
And
Swim
it's
there.
our role, your
Right.
role, my role, our responsibility as social media people to uplift Davao standards.
Absolutely.
Let's not just keep doing the stupid game shows and people running around popping balloons with their butt. It's like we're done with that. That's our parents' generation.
Right.
Let's up it. Whatever. All right. Learn about other things, and social media is the way. And this guy JD, I'm looking at him and I'm like, I didn't know he could pull off those things all at once. But I think he has the drive. And if he's 23 years old, he's already doing this. I give him 5 years. He'll be one of the gurus of social media in Davao.
I hope
if you
so.
keep it up.
I will.
You're ahead.
It is my
Don't
pledge.
quit. You're ahead. You're way ahead. You're ahead of me in that game. I'm like in my retirement stage. But I'm inspired to see people like JD, and I hope to get to see more younger kids out there getting into it. And please, come out with quality stuff.
Right.
I mean, if you're slapstick kind of, goofy humor, whatever.
Right.
That's fine. There's a place for, if you're the Vice Ganda type fan, that's fine.
That's fine.
But I know
No
there are
problems with
kids
that.
out there that have a
Have
different
knowledge, right?
Yeah, it's just open your mind. Don't
Different stuff to talk about.
you won't grow.
Right.
If you keep staying in the same place.
That's why before the only content that I've had was travels. I mean,
Yeah.
just traveling. Those were the only things that I had because I thought that that was interesting, but I think that it was really not that interesting. I
Yeah.
think that we would really need a solid content, and I think that the sneaker community in Davao needs to be known,
Yes.
and and sneakers needs to be uplifted in Davao.
Yes.
For us to
The
compete.
watch community
Watch
needs to
community
be
as well.
uplifted. Yeah.
Because these stuff is here, and we want Davao to be a part of it. Manila guys, almost everyone vlogs about shoes there.
And the thing with Manila, there's so many like rich people there.
Right.
It's like you go to Manila. It's like whenever I walk around Greenbelt, I'm like, freaking, I'm the poorest guy here. What the heck? There's so many tisoys and tisais
Right.
and rich people driving BMWs. It's like you know, you like. There's no point in me starting anything here. No one will pay attention to me. Like 10 times more people
Right.
better than Rod Rodriguez there. But in Davao, we have an edge.
Right.
Because we're pioneers for the most
pioneers.
part when it comes to these things. I know there are more people who've been on TV before
Mm-hmm.
or more people doing showbiz, whatever, but they're on a different level.
Right.
They're not doing this kind
Definitely.
of, you know, this level of social media exposure or whatever it is that we're doing, right? So let's keep it up, man, regardless of whether we only have 5 listeners.
Right, definitely. Well, this particular content will come out at 2020. I have lots of people who have already spoke with regards to the sneakers that they have, the collection that they
Okay.
have, which we can cover. But basically, the main topic of that particular sneaker vlog is about thrifting, restoring, explaining where these shoes come from to ignite the fire with regards to the sneaker community in Davao.
And sources of legit stuff.
Absolutely.
Right, yeah.
That's number one as well.
Ronald
Ronald.
Paulino. Here. Hook me up. Easy. Size 7. I don't know what size my wifey's is, but let me know.
Yeah. They want some Yeezys, bud.
Yeah.
He actually sent me
No,
a
I'm
message.
not guaranteeing a purchase. I have to kind of, if it's within the
Yeah,
budget,
wait in.
Yeah, wait. All right. So, anyways,
Right.
yeah, go plug your thing and then.
Right. So if you wanna make sure that you'd be able to see those content that's coming out 2020, you can follow me on Facebook. My page is the JDT, and on YouTube JD Talento, Talento, talent
How many
with an O.
videos do you have already uploaded?
Actually, my last video was blocked due to copyright, so I
Okay.
do have
You
around
played music.
Yeah,
Okay.
11, I believe.
You have
11 or
11 now.
9.
Okay. Well, I mean, is it like? Did you? Were you like me? Like, oh, your earlier videos were kind of like low res, and then it just got better.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool, man.
Well, I'm not actually gonna lean on that on what I had before. I'm actually gonna try and make sure that the next stuff that is coming will be much more better. for
Cool.
us.
So follow JD. All right. He's young. He has a lot of interest. He's, has just basically inexhaustible energy to be doing this. Like I said, I'm doing the podcast. I'm good. He's like vlogging, doing a podcast, doing whatever, but that's just how it is, Make social media work for you.
Yeah.
And the best part is you don't have to be anywhere. You don't have to be super wealthy. You don't have to need
You don't have to be big boy Cheng.
No, man. You have a passion for something.
Yeah.
And you have a channel to share your passion.
Just go for it.
You'll find and reach out to people who are into it.
Absolutely.
So thank you,
Thanks.
brother. 23 years old, like literally half my age, but he's twice at that level already in the social media awareness. And I think that, let that work for you.
Absolutely.
Right? So guys, thank you for tuning in. Obviously, it's the longest episode so far. We could go 3 hours. I'm only worried about uploading this on SoundCloud because then I have to upload this on Spotify. For those who are tuned in all the way to the very end part of the show, much love to you guys. Like I said, if you found anything offensive on the show, don't judge us because, you don't know us that well yet. We don't judge you. just always listen with an open mind,
Open mind.
because the worst thing that you can do is stereotype somebody
Right.
as something or someone and you deprive yourself of maybe a friendship or a
Right,
relationship
right.
with somebody who might be very, very close to you. Everybody starts out as a stranger.
Right.
You were a stranger before you came in. Now you're in my
Absolutely.
house, right? So there you go.
All right.
Thank you, JD, once again.
Thanks.
Faye is here. Are you gonna give her a shout out? You're
Yeah.
not gonna give her any exposure. Come on, man.
My girlfriend
She's
is
been
here.
sitting here for
Faye.
2 hours.
Hi, baby.
Yeah, she's like, she's the quiet
shy.
strength
Yeah,
of
she's
JD.
very shy.
Yeah,
Definitely.
total opposite of you.
Total.
Look at my wife. She's been upstairs for 2 hours. She
Right.
probably wants to drink water already. But guys, thank you for joining us. Please check us out. Well, check out JD's page, of course, and all his vlogs and on YouTube. And at the same time, this will be uploaded on Spotify for those tuned in via Facebook Live. It will be on Spotify tonight. I will upload it. It's at The Rod Rodriguez Show. So if you search for that on Spotify,
I'll link it below.
thank you. If you search for that on Spotify, it'll be like under podcast. And if it will be shared on my Facebook page
Yeah.
at DJ Rod Rodriguez. All right. So thank you. Have a safe night and enjoy the rest of the weekend that's coming up. My name's Rod Rodriguez.
This is JD.
And
Thank you, sir.
we're out. That was good, huh? That was a good
long
workout.
episode. All right, so that's it for the guesting for today. Thank you so much for everyone who did watch till the end of this video. Buddy, thank you so much for having me as your guest. So you can give your shout outs,
Bullets
maybe.
represent. Yeah, guys, just basically like my page, DJ Rod Rodriguez, and please follow me on Spotify. I'm going to try to churn out as many episodes and do more collabs with this dude, GDT.
Thank you. Everything will be linked below. Pages of Mr. Rod Rodriguez, DJ Rod Rodriguez will be linked below in the description. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.